Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super Old Game Saturday. I'm booting the Wii up for tonight's Friday edition. So yeah, it is Super Old Game Almost Saturday once more. But whether it's Friday or Saturday, this is your weekly stop for classic gaming goodness and for us to kick our Halloween celebration for 2022 into high gear. I'll make sure to hit the button on the Wii remote to pass the, be safe when you're playing your games, friends. Yeah, we are on the Wii menu, and for some reason it is not recognizing my classic controller yet. But that's fine, because I also have other ways to play this, and it plays fine for the game we're playing tonight. Because tonight is, as I said, we're doing our celebration of Halloween this entire month. So every week in October, the game we're going to be playing is going to have some kind of Halloween theme. So far, we've had the House of the Dead remake, the last part of Parasite Eve, and in the next couple weeks, we got the finales of Majora's Mask, and the start of Shadow Hearts on PlayStation 2. But tonight, going to a franchise that, if you're thinking about Halloween, there's usually one you want to talk about. It's right here. But this is a unique one as far as Castlevania is concerned, and it is right next to Castlevania Rondo of Blood on the PC Engine Super CD, as well as other stuff we got here, which we went into when we played Sonic 2 8-bit, which, yeah, that's a Halloween case if you're Nocturne and playing the Game Gear version, as well as other stuff like Ghoul Patrol, Super Metroid, as we mentioned before, and Ghosts and Goblins. Yeah, talk about a really hard one. But yeah, we are going into our horror mode with this Wii exclusive game I'm pointing to right here that, unfortunately, you cannot legally buy this anymore, and it pains me to say that. So I think part of tonight's show is going to be us playing this game, so we can give an indication to Konami and M2 that, yeah, you have a great thing here, and we'd love to see it back. And I'd love to see everybody who's in chat or watching this over in YouTube land, if you were liking what you're seeing, yeah, tell Konami that I'm interested in this. Yeah, this is Castlevania The Adventure ReBirth. This came out on December 28th, 2009. On the WiiWare. It was downloadable only on the Wii, and you have that intro there of the element of Vampire Killer, so we can get ourselves started. It is a remake of Castlevania The Adventure from the Game Boy, which came out in 1989, and they do give you the warning to put on the Wii Remote jacket and use the wrist strap. I'm using classic controls, so I don't need that stuff, and yeah, they always call that Wii Remote jacket the Wii condom. It's like, yeah, I have mine in the box, and my Wii came in because, yeah, it's hard to fit, and it smells funny, so make that what you will. And make sure to, connect the Wii Remote or any connections right. But yeah, this is a remake of Castlevania The Adventure on Game Boy, which is horrible. And so it's a rare case of a game that's being remade and is better than the game it was based on. Yeah, it is published by Konami. It was published or produced by Koji Igarashi, who, if you're a fan of this franchise, you know him for starting on Castlevania Symphony of the Night as assistant director and was on a bunch of other ones, and then went on to the Bloodstained games, the two Curse of the Moon games, and Ritual of the Night. But before then, he was programmer at Konami with stuff like Vulcan Venture and Detana Twinbee, as well as International Superstar Soccer on the Super Nintendo. The game itself, though, was developed by M2. It's going on the pause, or the start here, because actually you don't have an intro stuff. We'll go on the options, and I'll go on that in just a second while I finish my spiel of who's involved. Get a little taste of some of the great music you're going to be hearing. If you love your classic 16-bit style Castlevania, this is a hidden one, and it's a great one, and it's one that, like I said, I'm begging for a re-release, because if you like your Classicvania, as they call it, the left and right standard platforming element of Castlevania, you like your Halloween stuff, this is a great game. This is the last style of that Castlevania game as well. And M2 developed, they did a bang-up job with this one. It was Toshiyasu Kamiko, who did the direction of this, who actually worked on the Air Force Delta games, the first one on the Dreamcast, and the Air Force Delta Storm on the Xbox, and also was heavily involved on Astal on the Sega Saturn, as well as Iron Storm. It was also directed by Akihiro Minakata, who directed Dracula's Chronicles on the PSP, Castlevania Judgment, and Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, and was also programmer on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Hyperstone Heist, so yeah, he's got some Konami bona fides as well. And Keisuke Koga, who worked at M2 Specific, who did his design work on Yakuza 6, Namco Museum on the DS, and did graphics design on the Switch port of Virtua Racing, which is quite a great port if you haven't played that. Yeah, M2 themselves also have a history of doing ports of older games, including Castlevania. They did the Castlevania Advance Collection and the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, which are great ports of all the games within it. And maybe we can get a third one. I think people are wanting to see them get a third one. I know everybody I know went and bought that Castlevania Advance and Anniversary Collection, say that, yeah, we love our Castlevania, we want to get ourselves ready for Halloween. Great way to do it, and this is the Lost Castlevania game, and I'm going to show you exactly why it's so great. But M2, yeah, their history goes back, interestingly, they do a lot of collections usually, But they also made the other 2 ReBirth games on the Wii, of which I have one of the other ones, which is Contra ReBirth. The other one was Gradius ReBirth. They also did Gauntlet 4 on the Sega Genesis, and one of their first projects was the Game Gear version of Gunstar Heroes. Played the Genesis version, but they did a Game Gear version that was Japan only, and it looked like a pretty good port as far as it was. So they said, okay, let's take Castlevania Venture, this awful Game Boy game from 1989. Even for 1989, it was awful. It's slow, it's clunky, and it just felt really off. So they remade it, and man, did they come up with gold. Howdy, Electriverse. So good to see you tonight for our Friday show for Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth on the Wii. Unfortunately, you can't buy this game anymore. So if you're going to be playing this, you pretty much have to pirate it on your Wii, or I'm basically pretty much, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm begging Konami and M2 to re-release this, because this game is awesome. Hope you're doing well, hope you've had a great week, and hope you're ready for more Halloween stuff, and we're kicking in high gear with Castlevania for sure, so feel free to go into any memories on Castlevania itself. This game, if you played the Game Boy game that's a remake of, any other memories on Wii and WiiWare, which is a part of the WiiWare service that was in 2008 started as an answer to the Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network for downloadable games. But it had a 40 megabyte file limit, which got some developers kind of mad, especially also the fact that some of the developers didn't like the fact that they weren't getting paid royalties until it sold 5,000 units. But this was one that, yeah, in fact, the Super Meat Boy port for Switch or Wii was canceled. It's on Switch. Wii was going to be on, but they said, no, we're not squeezing it in. But Konami did, M2 did, they did a great job with this game. This is an awesome one, and it's terrific. I had a crappy week being sick. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you are feeling better. I've been running cases of people who sometimes have had cases of not feeling well themselves. I'm sending my best to you, your family, everybody out there, but you're feeling better now. Great. Fantastic. So, glad to hear that, and thank you for coming to the show, and thank you for adding to the show, as you always do. Feel free to sit back, relax, and I'm going to show you all the stuff. I was getting a little bit of a hint of some of the classic return elements we're going to be getting with our Castlevania Adventure Rebirth case. I'll get my difficulty stuff set. You can run on easy, normal, and hard. I'm running normal because there is a final boss. There's 3 forms. You only fight 2 on easy. Also going to run player lives. You can go up to, or down to 1 if you're really feeling masochistic, or 9 if you're nervous. I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to go to 6 because there are parts that's getting pretty damn difficult. We're going to beat this game. I did my practice on this massively over the past couple days, and last night especially. And you also have player style. You unlock this when you first play the game and quit out, weirdly enough. But you can do normal, which is the normal way of playing as far as how it is. But classic mode lets you play it the same way that old Castlevania went, and we'll go into that in a second. I really wish I bought this. Well, consider this our, basically us being on our hands and knees to Konami, saying that you did a great job with the Castlevania Anniversary Collection and Castlevania Anniversary, they did that one, but also the Castlevania Advanced Collection that were developed by M2, who made this game, by the way, it's worth pointing out. So, this is definitely one that I wish it was something that was more easily available, so maybe that'll happen. Remember, we sometimes say that we'll get our wish, saying like, hey, we talked about something on the show, we think nobody remembers this, are they going to be bringing it back? But sometimes they do, and maybe they're going to hear on this. And Castlevania's had a pretty good run of itself recently in terms of the anime, the Castlevania Nocturne that's coming out, as the sequel to that, and those collections. So I think chances are pretty good. And this is definitely a highlight of the WiiWare, for sure. And I think Castlevania Adventure just sucks. Yes, it does. Yeah, we can go into that as well, but this is also a great case with this one, and feel free to go into this as well. Well, hatred of that game, which I played in the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, and also the idea of when you've had a game that's been remade, and it's better than the original. This is a rare case of that. Hello, everyone. Hello, Dolly Finn. So good to see you tonight for Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth on the Wii. As Electriverse is indicating, you cannot buy this WiiWare downloadable game anymore, but we're giving it to play. We are giving our Halloween element going on with Castlevania, the Great Lost Castlevania, or Classicvania. As you have your player style, if you're in Classic, you do have the jumping physics that the original game has, where you jump, you can't move when you're in midair, when you're going. When you're on normal, you can. And also, one other thing, if you go on normal, or if on easy, I should say, you get hit, you do not have knockback. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Actually, Electric, you brought this up. We were doing, what was it? We were doing Tetris Attack. You mentioned, hey, the Fire Emblem games have the erasure of permadeath as an option that people weren't liking, but then again, it is an option. This game kind of does the same thing in that you don't like the backwards fall stuff when you get hit. Turn on that easy mode, and you don't have that. So yeah, we're going to be running the normal way, which doesn't have that. We can still go into it. We're still going to have the backwards fall and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be all set. Screen adjustment, controller settings. I'll show some stuff about this later. If you have this game, and I guess feasibly if they remake this, please, Konami, that's basically going to be what this is. It's going to be a picture of us on our hands and knees begging for a re-release, because I think it's deserving of one. And it wouldn't be too hard to do it. No knockback, sign me up. Yeah, they do give you that option, and I think, although I'm not sure, this is the only Castlevania game I know that has an option for that. I don't know if the Bloodstained games, they're by Koji Igarashi, who was producer on this game, it's worth pointing out, if they have an option for that too. But yeah, you're set if you want to have that. But the game is still hard enough on easy, so it's not going to be a case of, oh, you're going to be, completely ruining yourself for saying that, oh yeah, you're, being too dirty casual to it. But it's like, not really, honestly. So you do have a consistent and fair challenge. Yeah, you have your options of every controller method under the sun on this. The Wii Remote on its side, NES style, the Classic Controller, or the Classic Control Pro, as I'm rocking. And you can bring out the buttons however you want. You also have the Nunchuck control, where you basically have the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck, and swing, where you can basically swing the Wii Remote for it. I'll show off the end, because there is actually sound that comes out of the Wii Remote, and I do want to have that going. And then also, if you have GameCube controller support on the Wii you're running, that. Unfortunately, my Wii does not have GameCube support for it, but I have a GameCube, so that's fine. And honestly, I mentioned this before, I don't like playing the GameCube controller 2D games if I can avoid it, with a couple exceptions. But you also have Rumble that way if you want it, and you do have Rumble if you're running Wii Remote. For Classic Controller and Nunchuck, you do not. But yeah, let's get this party started. And do give you a save ready to go, so let's get going. So yeah, it's a horrible night to have a curse, but not a horrible night to play this wonderful game. So yeah, Count Dracula is back, as is usually the case. He's going after the Belmonts, but this is a different Belmont. This is 100 years after, I think, Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse on NES. So we have the great-grandson of Trevor Belmont for that game, Christopher Belmont. So we're going back into the Castle of Dracula to take him down. I recently bought Battle Chef Brigade and Chex Quest. Yeah, Chex Quest, has been an interesting case of seeing that. It's basically like a Doom mod, but turned into something kind of family-friendly and really, really good. And Battleship Brigade, I have not played that. Feel free to go in that, and anything else you got, as we are starting with level 1 with our friend using good old Vampire Killer, the whip that slayed Dracula. Is going to slam again. You're going through the first level, pick up those items, the orbs, to get upgrades on the Vampire Killer to kill things a little easier. Also, hearing the music. Everything in this game is a remix of old Castlevania music. In this case, you do have Reincarnated Soul from Castlevania Bloodlines, which is the other Castlevania game we played on the show. And we're going to fix that as far as saying, oh, we need more Castlevania. I know we do. So we're definitely going to do that, and I know the Crusader64 said he wants to be in on the 2 on the PS2, which are Curse of Darkness and Lament of Innocence, and he has both of them, including that PS2 edition of Curse of Darkness. At some point we're going to run those, but yeah, and this time, yeah, you get the classic Castlevania stuff, jump and slash, and hit areas to get money. Because 45,000 points get you a life. You want those, and pick up the hearts for ammo for your sub-weapon, which I picked up the knife, which is for this, but it's something, and it does hit stuff nicely. There's a jump up here, get more money, hit that, and get another upgrade. And this is one thing they took from Castlevania the Adventure, which is when you got the second whip upgrade in that, you could throw out fireballs for a brief period of time. But in this one, if you get hit too much, actually, I think it's if you run in classic mode for that. If you get hit once, you lose it. But when you're running normal control the way I am, you do not. I'm enjoying a lot, for sure, as far as Battleship Brigade is concerned. Haven't sat down to play Chex Quest yet. I mean, it's definitely very Doom-like. I mean, it was built off of Doom. But it basically is the idea. In fact, I remember that it's an interesting one because it was one that was big in the late 90s, and it is available modern, I believe, on like Steam and things like that. Okay, so yeah, I ran out of juice for what that was, but keep going. You keep getting that as long as you still have Vampire Killer upgraded to level 2. You have the good stuff for that. Also, one warning I want to give while there's the stuff going on. Yeah, that is a talisman. Kills everything on the screen. There's a flashing light warning when I hit that, so be careful. Boom. I will make that warning every time I hit that. But, yeah. It kills everything on the screen. It's very useful. Yeah, so there you go again. Yeah, it's on the Switch. Or, Chex Quest is on the Switch, or Battleship Brigade is on the Switch. Or they're both on the Switch, maybe. That might be the case as well. Also, yeah, we'll see that in a second. Yeah, feel free to go into that as we go along to this wonderful music. See this great atmosphere and seeing Christopher Belmont, and there we go. We got our next weapon, or sub-weapon. It is also like the old ones where you pick up one sub-weapon, gets rid of the other one. And also, in classic mode, when you have that, you can only use the Holy Water and the Cross. Also, one other thing. I do have the Cross. You hit up and the attack button, you throw it out, and it runs on the hearts you have. It's 2 for this. I'm picking up the key. So, if you remember Devil's Castle Dracula X Rondo of Blood on the TurboGrafx 16 CD, or the PC Engine Super CD, as it's known for Japan, yeah, you have that. Wait, Stage 1 has music from Bloodlines? Yes. Every level in this game is a remix of some classic Castlevania game of some sort. I have written down what they are. definitely going to go in that. It is a terrific remix. I'll tell you another thing about it that's interesting. I mentioned this when I said we're going to do this. It's redone. In fact, let's go into that as far as the music. And I got time limit, but I can go into this specifically. It was the music for this. I did take down who did it somewhere, I think. I hope. Maybe I didn't take that down. I took notes on everything else, but alright, name of who did music or did the conversions of the music is here. They have the sound fonts of stuff from the Super Nintendo and Genesis style, so you have like the stuff like the down. It almost sounds like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time a little bit. And music from Bloodlines and some of the motifs from classic Castlevania. And like, you hear that from the NES game, but we have our first sub-boss or mini-boss. I'm in trouble because I don't have much health. But yeah, you hit the bat there. And I want to hold on to, there's the axe. I would want to hold on to my key just to start because like Rondo of Blood, you can find hidden doors and take different paths. So for a classic Vania game, it does do what that game does in giving you a lot of different ways you can go for this linear take, if you so desire. Yeah, there is classic stuff going on. If you notice anything for that, we're going to keep going on with it. Yeah, but I do love Reincarnated Soul, the main level, or the main theme of Bloodlines. It is terrific. Feel free to go into memories on Bloodlines and any other Castlevania game you want. Also, yeah, the pork chop. Certain areas have it, hit it, you get a good recovery of your life. So, alright. Key. I can go up the stairs if I want to, but I can also take the key and go in the door. In fact, we'll do that. So it gives it a lot of replay value. This is not a long game, admittingly. This is a game that has only 6 levels, but they are pretty lengthy and beefy. And the game's hard, so it's going to take... I mean, we're not going to finish this in like an hour, trust me. This is going to be a lot longer than that. But it gives you a lot of replay value because of the thought of like, hey, I'll go this way, or I'll go another way. In fact, depending on the path you take, you might run into alternate mini-bosses. Some levels are going to see that. So it definitely gives you a lot of variety and value for the cost of the game, which is $10. Also, you do have... Yeah, there is the stopwatch. It stops enemies for a little bit with the Symphony Night style rotation effect. But yeah, I'm picking up the axe because it's going to be more useful for me, I think, for what I'm doing. I'd love to see Rondo Blood. Yeah, I have Rondo Blood on this, or on the Wii, or yeah, it was on Wii Virtual Console. I have the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. We definitely are going to do that game. Actually, one thing I might do as far as the end of the show, since I do have it on the Wii, we can take a brief look as far as like the beginning of it. Hear the amazing music, particularly that Bloodlines theme for it. It made me a fan. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that when we played, I think it was Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, that is definitely something I want to do at some point. But I said, okay, which one should we do? It was going to either be that one or this one. But I think with that one, I do want to show off the TurboGrafx 16 Mini for it. And I also want to make sure that, since there are a lot of alternate paths, maybe even more than this one, in fact, definitely more than this one even, I want to make sure we can show a decent amount of that. That might be more than one part. But in that case, I said, alright, let's do this one also just because this hasn't been re-released much or at all. It's only on the Wii, and it's only available this way. So unless you jailbreak your Wii, which people have done, and here's the thing, I'm not necessarily, I'll say this, I'm waiting for the holy water to go. As we purpose this for the boss here, I do not want the holy water. Yeah, I'm not going to say that, fine. Question as far as, you know, ethics and legality to that. The other thing, though, is that it is not available, and I'm basically saying that, look, I bought this game for $10 when it was around, and I'd buy it again. That's how good this game is, and how good Castlevania itself is, just in general, as you have the eyeball there, just beat him with the vampire killer. He'll bounce, but also be careful of the other ones. If you were timing it right, you should be fine. And kind of get him into a pattern that way, just going away, and then he'll shoot out the other ones. They will also roll in pattern, and also be careful of those platforms there. They will tilt a little bit after you're on it, but if you time your jump specifically, you will be set. As I mentioned, yeah, you're jumping left and right when you're in midair, unless you have classic controls on. Oh yeah, he also has the laser, so yeah, be careful of that. He has the cornea beam. Alright, bye-bye. Yeah, and the vampire killer is your strongest weapon, but the other thing you can also do is use your sub-weapon. You know, let's axe him to death. Oh, it's a cut his eye. There you go, bye-bye. So he's done. Not too bad, but it's gonna be hard as going, and you get the orb at the end. Hear this great remix of, yeah, the Castlevania 1 victory with the sound font of something like Turtles in Time, or any game, really, of Konami's on the Super Nintendo. A little bit of Genesis as well, as we're going to our next stage. Pretty quick so far. That is going to change, trust me. You're on level 2. Now let's go in the castle here. And this theme, by the way, I'm waiting for him to come by. Alright, come by, my friend. Although that chandelier will not fall until I slash into it or whip into it. Other ones will fall automatically. This is Lullaby Sent to the Devil, which is in Haunted Castle, which is a Castlevania game that was only released in arcades. until it got ported a bunch of places on PS4. I have the Arcade Archives Anniversary Edition on Xbox One that has it. It also has horrible flashing lights, so I'm going to put a warning on that. It's Wizard of War bad, let's put it that way. That's the barometer, I think, of any case with flashing lights. It's like, yeah, they did not tone that down whatsoever, and it is bad stuff. Ooh, and I got knocked back, but yeah, that was my fault for jumping on the ice and, getting knocked. But yeah, it's a remix of that. I think it's even better than in that game, and you'll talk about your hardest Castlevania. It's that one, probably, because it's an arcade game where you get 3 hits and you're dead, pretty much. And then on top of that, it's not an arcade game where you just keep putting coins into it. Yeah, you have limited continue, so like, yeah, if you don't have unlimited continue set, you can't run it very effectively, and actually a lot of the ports of it don't have unlimited continues. So yeah, it is, it's very stiff, for sure as well. But it is interesting that, and yeah, the remixes of the music, which, as I said, I think is even better than that is, as far as the music. And it's terrific stuff. And some of them are actually kind of cryptic as far as what music is being remixed. But it is great stuff, for sure, and there is a key. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to that in time, but we'll see how I can do that. Alright, there are the birds. Yeah, the key goes 2 things, if I can get back to it. I think because I busted it, will go off screen eventually. So I might have... Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe it doesn't go off screen. Yeah, it would be flashing if it didn't, but alright, fine, it doesn't. Alright, so, pick it up. Yeah, I don't know if I'll necessarily show off all the hidden paths, but I'm going to try and show a couple of them. Yeah, because you have 2 options. You can go down there that way, but then there's that bridge here. If you have the key here, whip the handle, and Bear comes down the bridge with the Mode 7 style effects. It is terrific stuff, and even this remix of this music, which, as I mentioned, is from Haunted Castle, an arcade game, but has Sega Genesis font style to it, which is awesome. I would say don't pirate games because of legality, but potential viruses too, because if it's expensive and no longer sold in your region, that would make another case. And I think, look, that's the thing I'm saying, because let's go into that, because I've mentioned on this show before, and I don't know if I've actually gone into this enough. You see the flea men, yeah, make sure you're crouching on them, or just get the upgrade to shoot the fire at them. Let me explain something. I'd say, yeah, in that case, say go for it. I mean, that's the thing, because, like, look, we've said this before, and I'll tell you, I think I briefly said this when we played, Final Fight and Magic Sword. I said, I think I said something to this effect of, I'll try and get a game as original as, like, in original form as I can to show it for this program when I can. And there are cases where collections and things, usually that's the way I'll have certain things, especially because it costs a lot of money. I mean, we did House of the Dead remake a couple weeks ago. If I was gonna get that Saturn version for the US version, that would be, I said it was $400, it's like $600 now, it's way more. So the question of, okay, how are we gonna play this? And you're right, the idea of wanting to show that as far as, case of that, but also one other thing, I'll put this anecdote as well, because Protorova, he is gonna be playing Lunar Silver Star Story Complete for the PlayStation starting in April. And he doesn't have his PlayStation 1 anymore. He has a PC, so he said, let me just run an emulator for this. But I was visiting him when we did one of the parts, or actually a couple of parts of Ocarina of Time. When we did that, he said, I want to show you parts of this. I'm going to hit this, try and go down the path, and hit that, a hidden area. But what he was showing me, he said, I have my PlayStation emulator. He has the disc of the game still. It's an expensive one. He said, why not just run it with the disc? And there are emulators on the PC to do that. But he's saying, hey, the cutscenes are stuttering. It's like, I don't know why it's doing this. Like, maybe there's something wrong with the disc. So I said, okay. For next part, I think it was for, he showed me this part 1, before we did part 1 of that game. Part 2, I said, I'm bringing my PS2 on here. Let's run on the actual form factor. See, does it make a difference? It did. So it's another case of, yeah, emulating, yeah, to get it running. Oh, and this is actually a room I don't think I've been in before, specific. So yeah, you have the not bloopers as they're there, and also the bats with the, yeah, talk about the atmosphere this is creating for your Halloween thing. Like, oh yeah, look at the darkness and the rats. Ugh. Yeah, they're going down. But also goes to the question of, yeah, you're right, emulation as far as, like, legality, viruses as well, but also the fact that some games just don't emulate well. In fact, I think I was going to mention this last time, but I'll put an edit in for this time. I watch, there's a couple channels I'll watch for certain things. One of them is Austin Eruption. He does a lot of video game stuff, kind of looking through certain things. One video he did, one of the most recent ones, well, I try and go over here and see what's in there. Oh yeah, whip upgrade, which is awesome. He did a part on games that are insanely expensive and not available modern. One of the games he mentioned, and it's a game I think we can do, I gotta talk to Edwack about it, who's gonna be on the show in January, by the way. I'll make that announcement now. It's Bomberman the Second Attack for the Nintendo 64. It's a game that's like $300-$400. But he said, why don't you just emulate this thing because it's so expensive? But apparently there's something the way that game is designed that made it really hard to emulate. So, it's one thing to say that, okay, fine, for a cost reason, yes, And hey, there's not a re-release case too, yes, but also that emulating, it might not be a failsafe for everything, which is very interesting to think that there's just some games that don't emulate well. And that's even nowadays. I mean, going back early days of emulators, stuff like Super Nintendo 9X or SNES 9X, or, well, fine, I'm getting killed. You do that, get that. But yeah, you do have checkpoints, by the way, as far as how that works. When you go through certain doors, they're usually the ones that are marked, you will have a checkpoint. But that's fine for the time being. And if you get all your lives gone, it's a game over. And you do have unlimited continues, but when you die and lose all your lives, you do have to start at the beginning of the level you were at, and these levels can be long. So, yeah, we've got to be careful about that. And there's another flash. Yeah, I also put indications on the bottom of the screen when I edit too. Not bad, but still just a little something for that. But as I said, even in the early days of emulators, like, as I mentioned, NES 9S, Nesticle being one of them. Actually, they took the remnants of that for the guy who made that, used elements of that to port in Super Punch-Out into Fighting It Round 2 on the GameCube, which actually is the version of Fighting It Round 2 I have, just pointing that out. The thought that, you know, they had issues with certain things, like we played Mega Man X2, and we'll do Mega Man X3 eventually at some point, and those had the specific CX4 chip in the cartridge for Super Nintendo, and for years, it was a question of how do we emulate that? Even Nintendo had trouble with some of that, with like the Super FX chip on Super Nintendo, where Yoshi's Island didn't emulate well until they figured it out years later, or Star Fox, or even Star Fox 2, really. So at that point, they were saying, like, okay, how do they figure it out? But some games, they still haven't really cracked it just because of how they're designed. It is absolutely fascinating to look at that. So it goes to the question of, I mean, for this one, I don't know necessarily how, I guess, the emulation element of the Wii is. I don't know if it's necessarily behind in some ways like other systems tend to be. Sometimes because they're hard to develop for. I mean, I don't think the Wii was that case. I think the Wii, from what I understand, was not a hard system to develop for. But the question of what is that going to do, and also how are certain games developed that makes it different? You think, well, with Bomberman Second Attack, they put Bomberman 64 on the Wii U's Virtual Console, and that's actually where I have that game. But they didn't do Hero, they didn't do Second Attack either, and it probably wouldn't be a licensing thing because Hudson still has it. They developed all those games, even though they're published by the first two were Nintendo, and then 64 was published by Vatical. So I just found that name kind of interesting. We're at the next boss. This is the, I guess the ogre, what it is. He has strong arms. He will throw blocks out. He'll also jump on the ceiling and slam you down. Also try to punch there. He'll also throw blocks, so be careful to that. Yeah, and don't do what I'm doing, which is hit that. But also, so sometimes punch the ground, the blocks, or the rocks come down. They'll be there. You have to knock them out with two whips, by the way. You also use your sub-weapon, specifically. It does do less damage than your Vampire Killer, which I guess makes sense. And sometimes you'll get other things like doing the spinning element there, and then grow back. Sometimes you just War of Attrition, just hit him constantly, but also be careful where the positioning of the throws are. If you do the punch, he'll do that, but sometimes he'll do that throw. He might throw the block, yeah, like that. But I think I got him. Alright, so far so good. That's not going to be a guarantee at stage 5 and 6, I promise that. Alright, but that is stage 2. But it is an interesting thing for that, and feel free to go into more on that element, other stuff of Castlevania, other stuff. I mean, because that's the thing as far as the Wii is concerned, because, and that's why I said this on the Wii U and 3DS shop closures that are happening, I still have like $20 left I'm going to be putting to that, or that I have on my system to put to stuff for that. It's a question of, hey, availability, where is it, and what's going to be lost, and what's got ported elsewhere. And this has not been ported elsewhere, but I think there's a good chance, feasibly, of it happening, because I mentioned Konami is back into the video game side of things, it seems now. We'll go into more stuff on Konami, the idea of, like, why do people not like them? Also, you hear those cartoony sound effects, that treat of the Bone Storm, which is weird for that, but it is interesting still. And you'll hear, like, the splatting of certain enemies that go that boink. I don't know necessarily what the sound direction was on that as far as thinking that, but it is interesting to that. We talked, like, cartoons and stuff before for that. Also get those bloody spikes there. But yeah, I mean, the thought of, you know, I don't think this is going to be out of the realm of possibility case, because Konami does have the stuff for that, and M2 did the last two collections. And I think, as I said, look, I said this last week, I'll say it again, I'll basically say it every time the question comes up of, can something get re-released? If Plumbers Don't Wear Ties can get re-released, so can this. Also, by the way, one thing I forgot to mention, when you walk off a platform, you do lose control of your movement as you fall, so that's regardless of whatever difficulty you play. You gotta be careful, along with the red skeletons there, who you hit them, they will not die, so they'll come back every couple of seconds. So at least you can get them out of the way for the period as you have, yeah, the fucking bats, as we've often said for this. But yeah, for Castlevania, I get why they're here. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for them to say, you know what, let's bring this back. I think Konami's done so much really good, I guess, to get in gamers' good graces again. We talk about that, too, because the question of, you know, people not liking Konami because elements what happened with Metal Gear Solid 5 and the idea of how they treated Hideo Kojima for that, which is why he's not with Konami anymore. And then also the question of, did they give up on video games for their slot division or pachinko divisions? But now also the idea of they're coming back with stuff like the Castlevania collections, the Contra collection, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, the Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters coming out, or remakes. So I think it's a good place to it. I think they're realizing where that stuff is that makes them, you know, into such a great case with gaming. And why people hate them now for aspects of that, and saying, like, why did they love them in the first place? Because they make great games. I've been meaning to play the Castlevania Anniversary Collection for Halloween month. Good time to play it, for sure, and a lot of good games in that. As you mentioned, a lot of not good games. Also, be careful of the spike there. Let me explain how this works. It does the pull out quickly, then after it shoots out, so time to jump to make it happen. Fitting to that, because, yeah, remember, Castlevania Anniversary Collection has the shitty original version of this game, which is usually the opposite. Usually the thought is that, you know, you have a remake of a game and it's nowhere near as good as the original. This is the opposite case, which makes it kind of fascinating. And honestly, I'll tell you, and feel free to chat, like first, Dolphin, anybody going to this. What do you think are games where they've remade it and it's better than the original to you? I mean, actually, I know Nocturne would say one. She'd say Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that's not even done yet. Because she likes Final Fantasy VII itself enough, but she said with the remake is, it's up there with Final Fantasy IX for me, and that's her favorite one. So the thought of that being a great remake of that game specific. And this is another one this way. Feel free to hit me with any others you got as far as really great cases. Actually, I guess we could go to a channel I sometimes watch when he does stuff, which he takes his time to make these, but they're always usually worth the wait when it happens. Exo Paradigm Gamer, he does his remake or re-break segment of looking at a remake or a remaster or something. And I would think that if he'd ever do an episode on Castlevania Adventure and do this against it, it would be a replace instantly because, yeah, the other one is not good, but it is in collection where you can see why it's not good and why its sequel, which is Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge, is really good. And they really fixed themselves nicely with the next one. We're dealing with the Bone Towers, one of the most annoying stuff, or one of the annoying stuff with the Castlevania games, but with that Fire Whip stay from distance, just keep picking them off. Also, by the way, music. I should go back to that since we are at a new level while we knock that skeleton down. This is actually from Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge. This is New Messiah, the theme for the Crystal Castle. So yeah, the Game Boy game. So they're mixing it from that to the point where I said they're deep cutting quite a bit as far as some of the elements of the soundtrack. So digging that out was kind of a fun thing of saying, like, where did some of this stuff come from? They picked some interesting stuff, and as I mentioned, also the idea of taking something from one system, in this case Game Boy, and then remixing it with the sound font that this game is running. Okay, yeah, this part. Alright, thankfully I have the axe, so I can just throw that right through the ground and hit the bone towers on the way down. You're avoiding the, I guess those spike thingies from Sonic 3 in the Marble Garden Zone. But I also want to be careful of not hitting the Holy Water. I mean, the Holy Water is a fine weapon in this, but unlike Castlevania 1 and 2 and 3, and I think also... Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Okay, I jumped too quickly as far as that. Sometimes you have to be careful that way, and clearly I was not. Yeah, with some of those things, the Holy Water has been nerfed significantly in this franchise. Ask anybody who loves this franchise, they'll say, like, yeah, it's not been the same for a while. Also, in this case, gotta avoid the ice blocks. Oh, and careful of those. Yeah, this game is definitely going to start challenging you, for sure, as you go on. Oh! Yeah, I'm just staying there, though the spike can't get me. Hopefully getting that, which is not going to help me much going through. And also, the fall down here. Also, don't hit the side of that thing, or it does hurt you. You jump there, and it's over spiked, so be careful. Alright, we got it. But, yeah, I am going to die with one more hit. Yeah, I'm amazed I avoided getting hit by that. Also, the fireball does have a range. So be careful that way. Oh, shit! And yeah, the bats just keep coming, of course. Ooh! Alright, so we are at the next mini-boss, but I want to try and see if I can't get some... Yeah, I don't think there's much health here. And like is usual with Castlevania, you really have to look for those pork chops. Good luck finding them. And you do have time limit, but usually it's not going to be too bad. Oh, right, we don't have boss yet. Actually, this is the next checkpoint. Yeah, you have to duck underneath the spinning blade there, and it is like a Mode 7 case, so yeah. Lost 16-bit Castlevania, that's really what this is. And if you love Castlevania 4 or Dracula X, Super Nintendo, or Rondo Blood, really, and Bloodlines, yeah, you're gonna be right at home with this one. You're gonna have a good time with it. I said, well, we get a remake of it or a re-release of it, but I'm letting you know right now why it's so awesome, and have a great time so far. And so far doing okay, but as I said, I am nervous, because yeah, I'm like 1 point of health away. So the stuff there, but ooh, that was close. Jesus, I have all these close calls. All right. Yeah, I don't think there is a pork chop anywhere here, and I don't think I want to go up there. Actually, this boss, I might be able to be okay. Feasibly. Let's see. Alright, this is the, I guess, bone snake. He shoots that out, and it will follow you, sort of. So you can kind of be on the side of this. What you really want to do is, I guess, sort of wait or toss the axe if you have it. You hit him, but stand here, and he'll hit this. So just hit him with the vampire killer, but then come over to the side, because he'll also do this. This is a great effect, but it's also hard to dodge this. Hit him, and it's kind of going in the background. If you jump specific, you can just avoid that, and somehow I did avoid that. And he'll do this, which if you jump will hurt you, usually will not if you don't. And he'll just keep doing that. So yeah, if you understand the pattern, that's what I'm realizing. That's what I realized the end of this game. And I don't know if I'm going to be getting into a good case of getting to the end of this game easily. We'll see. Alright, well, I did do that, thank God. So that means I do get a checkpoint. By the way, if I did die there, I'd have to go back to the axe room again. Yeah, because some of the checkpoints are far away, but they do give you... it's fair enough, like, there's a distance, so you're going to be penalized enough when you get hit, and also run into, yeah, the Medusa heads. They do not stone you the way that they did in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but, yeah, they go in that zigzag pattern, and, yeah, they just keep coming, and... Oh, I was like, wait a second, I hit the spikes. Like, no, I didn't. There is all that one divot right there. And you actually have to use that specific for one of the jumps. Oh, shit. Okay, I did it again. It's like, wait, I'm not dying on the spikes. All right, yeah, bye-bye to him. All right, I'm dead now. Yeah, we'll be okay. I mean, I do have a decent number of lives. I did pump it up, I guess, to make it a little easier, but also because on, look, round 5 and 6, I'm nervous. Especially round 5, because round 5 is the longest level in the game, and round 6 has the final boss. As I mentioned, I have 3 forms I gotta fight of that on this version, which, or in this difficulty. Also, there's the axe, you can't, or the spinning blade, you can't jump over that, so whip it. Or whip it good, as we've always said on this program, the Devo perspective. But now taking the literal element, and yeah, there you go. Thank God there is the platform there, or the safe place right there, but yeah, it's not gonna help you completely avoiding these things. Especially in this case, you have to run underneath. Whoa! And you have your movement that goes at a decent enough speed, so you can still kind of survive it without too much trouble. I'd say Blaster Master Zero. Oh, is he? Oh, right, we mentioned Blaster Master Zero. I should have said that Blaster Master Zero is superior to the original one. Yeah, because I do have that original one on NES. I played a little bit of the Zero game. It's the remake by Intercreates, who made Mega Man Zero and the Zerg Striker Gunvolt games. And that definitely would be an interesting one. Yeah, we should definitely show that, because Blaster Master Zero, I believe, has been ported a bunch of things. I think it is on Switch. It's getting the ectoplasms. Yeah, those always are things you want to avoid, specifically with Symphony of the Night. And you do have the spikes coming up from the top. Yeah, they're good. Hey, I mean, I like the original. I mean, I played very little of that one, but it's okay. Oh, right, see. Okay, sorry, I realized, as far as what you're saying, remake. Case of remake where it's better. Okay, yeah, why did I not remember that? That's the whole point of tonight's show, along with getting Halloween, because, yeah, nothing says Halloween like Castlevania, but there's definitely other cases as far as gaming stuff. And, yeah, even though it looks like I was gonna say, it looked like I was gonna get hit by that, I didn't, but, yeah, a case of a remake that is better, and it is, I mean, I guess, I would think maybe for that with Blaster Master, maybe the thought that, because I was showing people Blaster Master specific, because it is on Switch Online for NES, and basically just wait for that to go down and then run underneath. It's probably because it is a little stiff. I mean, I guess in some ways like Castlevania sometimes can be, but then the thought of like what that's running like. And that is definitely a good answer for that, and the idea of, you know, Intercreates, as I mentioned, who made the Mega Man Zero stuff, taking a game, an established thing, and then rebuilding and making it better and enhancing it for modern stuff, will also, and I guess that's also the challenge here, while you have a very specific jump, you have to jump right at the end of the cycle there. Yeah, I'm like right off there. Yeah, you gotta make jumps like that a lot in this game, or any of the Castlevania games anyway. The thought of taking a game like that, remaking it, but also remaking it enough so that people are not gonna say, oh, this is totally unrecognizable, or sometimes people say, like, they like this unrecognizable. Also, by the way, boss is up here. They give you the cross, don't take it. Get your heart set. Yeah, I'd say these compilations play better than on the original hardware. And something to be said about that, too, you're right, how they run. And actually, we'll go into that while we're fighting this thing. It's actually kind of a takeoff on stuff that Symphony of the Night has, and this is where you want to use your axe, but you can just throw right up. So you don't have to wait, although as I mentioned, you don't do as much damage with the sub-weapon, and you do run out of your hearts, but not too bad. Across your heart to go into the element of Castlevania that way. But there is something to be said about that, because actually, let's go into this, because as we mentioned last week, I was ecstatic, insanely ecstatic when they said, or ecstatic, when Halloween 64 was announced to be coming out on Switch Online expansion pack yesterday, to the point where I actually put off practice on this game, even though maybe it's not looking like it. I guess maybe, well, wait till round 5 before I start talking that way. I basically did the play of that, or the unlocks of that, to show it to my coworkers. I've been gushing about this game pretty much forever. I did when we played it last year. Interesting about that version, they rebuilt that game, I think, pretty much completely for the Switch, in that it is an uncapped frame rate now. There are parts of the game that are targeting 60 frames per second and sort of kind of holding. I mean, there's cuts down for sure, but the original version didn't run like that. We showed the original version, we played it, which is not an expensive game. As I mentioned, it's like $30. But the fact that, okay, this is available modern to people, that's why I'm excited about that. But also when I saw that, I said, wait a minute, they basically made it better in some ways. I mean, the movement for Jumble Hopper is a bit sensitive compared to how it was on N64, but maybe it's because I have that N64 controller on Switch that I haven't broken in completely, I guess. But still, I'm thinking, in some ways, it's one of those cases, I think it's the only case I can really think on Switch Online expansion pack with Nintendo 64 where they may have ported the game better, even though it has elements of, I guess, polygon tearing, which it had on Nintendo 64 anyway, and pop-up. It was terrific to see that, and it was a case, you know, like the Blaster Master Zero case, a little bit the idea that taking a game like that, in that case remake with this one port for Pilot Wings, but enhancing it with the tech you got now, and it's fascinating to see that. As, by the way, I do want to try and knock that thing down, because that's hard to kill, and then this is satisfying, hitting the bone towers with that as it comes down, and then the bone snake. Yeah, this theme, it is something loopy. This is from Castlevania Chronicles, which is on the PlayStation 1. I have it. It was on the PlayStation 3 as download, or is. It costs a lot of money, because I know they did not make many copies of that intentionally. I think they made only about 50,000 of that in 2001. Interestingly enough, this theme is the name of, or it's the theme of the Mission Select and the name entry, which is a theme that you don't hear often in that game. So, in that case, they said, fine, let's remix music from Castlevania Chronicles, which in and of itself is a remake, or it is a remake of Castlevania, the original, for I think the Sharp X something. It was a Japanese computer of some sort. I'll picture what that is, and the full name of what it actually is below when I edit this. But they took that, they said, like, let's extend this theme for this, and it sounds terrific. As I said, it sounds like a Genesis game of Konami's. I mean, any played Konami's on Genesis, whether it's Castlevania Bloodlines, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist, which one of the directors on this was designer or programmer on that, Rocket Knight Adventures, the Tiny Toon Adventures games they made, the Animaniacs game that was on that system as well. It has that Konami sound. I mean, that sound font they use, because we mentioned this on Genesis, a lot of games would use the GEMS audio driver. Konami, I don't remember if they made their own, but there's some method that they were using for their music. And you got that sound that sounded kind of similar to each other, but also you could tell that it was something of Konami's, and it always was a treat whenever you played a game of theirs with that. Yeah, Castlevania Chronicles, I would say, is the best way to play Castlevania 1. Okay, so there's another one. Alright, so we got another case of that. So yeah, Castlevania 1 is on NES. I have it on NES. I have it in the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. It's hard. I mean, hey, a lot of the Castlevania games are hard, no question. And with Chronicles, actually, with Chronicles, they give you two versions, because Chronicles, the first one is the direct port of that Sharp computer version, and then they kind of enhanced it a bit with semi-PlayStation-ish graphics, or I guess sort of 16-bit-ish graphics. Though people say, like, hey, it doesn't look as good as Symphony of the Night, which came out 4 years prior, but it's like, well, fine, whatever, fair enough to that, I get it. But, I mean, that is on the table, so yeah, if you want to see Castlevania Chronicles, we can do that, or any of the other ones, so yeah, feel free to go into that as we're going to this area. This is where it's going to be a little bit of a puzzle, and you have two methods to go through this. I'm going to show the mini-boss method if I can. Oh, so you hear that point? So yeah, that is the cartoony sound effect. Yeah, it's weird that that's the decision they made for that, but it sounds cool. So I was like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna get the key. So, alright, I got two things. You actually, the ways you go through this level is, in this section, you have to pick up the key actually to open up a gate, sort of, kind of. But you can also say, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go back to the left, because there was the grated gate, or the grate here, which that's how you can tell to hit some of the key, by the way. It does have the whip upgrade, so if I die here, I'm going to be doing this anyway, just so I can get that. And then go back in the door. The bottom door, by the way, takes you back here, so it's a little bit of a maze. When you unlock that, well, we'll see what's going to go on. And also, another case I'd say is the PSP version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Yeah, which is in the Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, which in itself is a remake of Rondo of Blood. And it comes with Rondo of Blood original and Symphony of the Night, where with Symphony of the Night, they changed the voice acting. They redid the voice acting. Actually, I believe some of the voice acting in this game is in that game. I mean, at least I believe so. I think the voice of Death, in that version, I believe it's, and this one as well, when we see him, spoiler warning, Death is in this game, it's Travis Willingham, who is Roy Mustang on Full Metal Alchemist, as well as Knuckles in the Sonic games, going back, starting with Sonic Colors on the DS, as well as the announcer in Tekken 6, and Relius Clover in BlazBlue. So yeah, that's another case. I mean, actually, I have not played that version, the PSP one, and it's also on the PS4 within the Castlevania Requiem collection. But it's a case where they made the voice acting better. It is better, but it's also the question of loving that cheesy voice acting still. I'll tell you how I'll figure that. I'll see about, when we get to Symphony of the Night, I think I do want to show the PlayStation version off, but I do think, in some capacity, I do want to show the original, I do want to show that PSP game to a certain degree to show a difference. Yeah, I wish they kept the original cast. Yeah, I mean, actually, I think, although I'm not sure, they might have kept some, sort of, kind of. And I know, actually, with, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which was the game from Koji Igarashi, the not Castlevania game he made and kickstarted or kick-funded, it does have some of the people from Symphony of the Night PlayStation in it. And the Xbox 360 version is based on the PlayStation game. But yeah, I'm sitting here with the Bone Towers like, yeah, like, geez, that looks scary. Yeah, be careful. Now, you can whip them and get rid of them if you want. The other thing you do is wait for the fire to go, because this isn't on an interval. Hit that and go down to the right. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, no, that's right. No. Okay, wrong way. So what I need to do is, yeah, it goes up. Okay, so that took me the wrong way. It also shows you basically go in the different door and you go back. Yeah, you go back the door you came in. You get this room. Oh, yeah, you have that guy, the ninja dude. Yeah, if you time that, you can sort of have the chandelier hit him, but it's not always going to hit him effectively. And also, gotta be careful, because when you have the flash of his scythe like that, he'll throw out of one of his arms. One of them will go downwards, and the other one will go over. Shit. Oh, no. You can whip him out of the air, but it's not always easy to do that if you're far distance. But yeah, I just walk underneath that. The other guys get crushed. And also, yeah, he'll go up. You can also duck underneath that one. Yeah, he's done. Alright. Yeah, Rob Belgrade's just Alucard better than Yuri Lowenthal. Yuri Lowenthal was in which one? PSP or the PlayStation? Feel free to go into that. I don't remember specifically who it is. But I think no, Rob Belgrade's is in Symphony Night PlayStation. I think. I should know. I was like, I love that game. I was like, well, hey, we get into that. And honestly, Electris, I think you indicated that with the Metal Gear Solid stuff, saying, you know, let's talk voice acting on this program. Also, because they have the voices on screen. Another Konami game specific for that. So, fitting to that. Alright, so yeah, there is also the eye demon thing. I don't remember the name. Alright, there's the cross. I do want to sort of hold on to that. Yuri's from the PSP game. Okay, and the PS4 port of that. But, okay, thank you. And key... Oh, yeah, I don't... Yeah, I don't want the key. I want the key if I'm going backwards. So, yeah, so in that case, yeah, there's the Bone Towers again. In that, the candle there is a talisman, so I'm gonna give a flashing light warning now before I walk off to that. Alright, so... Yeah, they're dying. There's a sight, boom. Yeah, look at all the Bone Towers. Yeah, that was scary, but yeah, no, not. They're dead now. But I don't have much health going into this boss, so I'm a little nervous. Yeah, and that thing hurts a lot, so I gotta be careful on this. Yeah, so yeah, you do get the sense of the boss door right there. Demon Death is too good for you. We'll see. Thank you for your encouragement, and I guess feasibly reference something. Yeah, this is the Vampiress, I believe. I don't know who voices her. There's no voice, or not voice, there's no, what was it? There's no credits for the voices in this game for some reason. I basically had to just look up for who I was able to find for the voices of everybody else. Like, whoa, shit! Yeah, look at that stuff. Yeah, she's like, die! Yeah, she'll do that. Yeah, the game will come down. Yeah, I'm dead. Which is fine, because I do know the pattern. I know the pattern now because I played this whole game last night to get a sense of, okay, what am I going to do? But it does show the element of that, because I don't know if I'm making this game look easy. I hope I'm not, because I'm trying to say that, yeah, this game is difficult. It took me a lot of time to do the practice for this. So I guess they'll go to one other thing, which is, I guess, difficulty of this compared to other Castlevania games. I guess this is easier than some of the other ones, to a degree, that way. Oh, my favorite, Robert Alucard. Oh, that is from Symphony of the Night as well. Yeah, I do love me my Alucard. Or as I said at the beginning of the show, I said we're going to send Konami a message that I'm interested in this. Or, I guess I'll put a link to this in the link list. The warning he gives you... Okay, the quote. Thank you. The warning he gives you when you put the disc into either a CD system or a CD player... Or just play, don't play the data disc off of the PlayStation menu, saying, this is a disc made exclusively for the PlayStation game console. It's not to be played in anything else, but you're not going to listen, are you? And they give you a unique piece of music. Alright, so yeah, you again, come on. Oh yeah, in that case, yeah, if you can get the pattern down and get a sense of where he's going to throw, you should be set. Also, watch your surroundings, because yeah, those do fall on their own. Yeah, keep going as far as the stuff with Castlevania goes. Like, this is the celebration Castlevania again, because the last time we did Castlevania was with Bloodlines. Although, actually, as I mentioned, with Bloodlines, I do have a rationalization to go back to that again, because we didn't play as, what was his name? We didn't play as, Eric Ricard. So we could show that version that way. Well, I'll figure as far as we're going to do that. In that case, I'm just going to... that's the other thing. If you go in the door, they'll die anyway. So it's like, yeah. Door or talisman, they're dying regardless. Ow! Yeah, that's how much that thing hurts, so I gotta be careful. And, alright, so I think we should be set for the boss better now, or the mini-boss. It's definitely an interesting path to take down, seeing that... So yeah, she's gonna die, or she's gonna make me die. I'll try and see what I can't do. But yeah, she has the thing, she'll do the demon thing, so let it follow you at the end. Be careful, basically stand sort of next to her so you get out of the way of the fire, and then jump at the last minute when that demon goes. And when she does that, walk along it, or get hit. As in my case. Whoa! And like with a lot of Castlevania games, it's really basically about understanding the pattern and also understanding when can you get an opening. Which is a lot harder than it might look. I mean, look, I'm making it look easy, I guess, because I practiced this game last night. Because I said, I'm nervous about being able to do this. I got her. Alright, she's done. If I can find the voice of who that is, I will put that in when I edit. Alright, Tay, you go down this way, and yeah, I don't think the key's gonna be useful here anymore. So, yeah, we are getting our axe here as we're going up. Yeah, so that's the other thing. You also do go different directions and levels. So, yeah, I mean, if I went the key way, I'd go in the other doors. I'd skip that mini-boss entirely. I wouldn't have to fight it. In fact, I think I skipped one of the... mini-bosses in World 3, or maybe I've shown them all off so far. But yeah, each level does have a mini-boss, but depending on the way the level's designed, you could feasibly skip it. So it just gives you a lot of replay of saying, hey, I want to play this again, go a different way. Yeah, for this, I want to hold on to the axe. You just throw it upward. So that's the other thing, that you do have different options for that. As I mentioned, if you're running classic mode, you don't have an ability to use the axe at all. You can only use the cross or the holy water. Or as, to quote the Super Game Brothers play of Castlevania Judgment, they said, yeah, Castlevania logic dictates that you use either the holy water or the cross. Yeah, usually, or to go to the Arrested Development case, that's a cross. Ooh, a cross from where? But, alright, yeah, I've got to take him down and go in that door. I will, by the way, I did get a checkpoint from beating that mini-boss. Usually, actually, no, I think it's every time you beat a mini-boss, that counts as a checkpoint. Go that way, and then also, there is something over here. There's the candles, I think there's something over here. Somewhere. Well, enjoying the great music, which, yeah, I did say what this was. We've been in this level so long, or sort of so long, that I forgot I mentioned which one it is. Alright, yeah, the birds. Yes, we had that with... Oh, shit. Yeah, the knockback, that could be a problem for that, unless you get easy on this, but it also takes that away, so here's the other thing, which... Judgment is an underrated game. I'll tell this about Judgment. I own Judgment in another run. I did not like Judgment when I played of it, but it's also something that, you know... Another case of Castlevania on the Wii, number one, but also a case of, you know... I saw so many fighting games sort of like that on the Wii. Specifically, I'm going to stuff with Wii, because actually... This is technically the first game on the Wii we're playing, not counting the Sonic 2 8-bit play, because there was Virtual Console, this first thing that's actually on the Wii itself. Again, those are Skull things from Symphony of the Night, and I believe they're in Harmony Distance and some other stuff as well. But yeah, 3 hits and they'll go, blah! But in this case, you gotta move, because like Super Castlevania 4, yeah, the bridge is collapsing, so get moving, shit! Oh no! Or die. Alright, fine, whatever. I'll tell you, I mean, with Judgment, it was a weird one as far as turning Castlevania into a fighting game, that's for sure. A 3D fighting game, I guess like a Power Stone. But, I mean, it's one I'd like to play. The hyper moves, I think that's the other thing as well, because the hyper moves, the thing about that is that they look cool, but it's also something that you keep seeing them over and over again. It's also the idea you can't skip the cutscene on that. But still, I mean, I'll tell you, if nothing else, it is interesting. I mean, the other thing I guess that got questioned about that was the fact that, and feel free to indicate if you know the name of who this is, the character designer from Death Note, which I honestly have not seen Death Note. I know people are fans of that, but questioning like, what do they look like, is these characters look like, their interpretations of Castlevania characters. Some of them are weird, for sure, but some of them, I will say, look kind of on point to a certain degree. Actually, Maria from Round of Blood actually is one of them. I would say she kind of looks in line, I would say. But yeah, you do have some time before the bridge falls completely. So you can sort of stop and whip him to kill him and get points. So, yeah, I don't know if I actually showed him getting a life off yet. I guess I must have with all the points I've gotten so far. But I'll say this, you know, I do think I should be playing that game again, and I would like to show it. And here's the other thing. Like, look, even if the like question, like, is a game good or not, doesn't matter. We can still show on the show. Even Castlevania Adventure. In fact, I think at some point we'll have to show that with something else, admittingly, because I don't know if I can wrestle a whole show of just that game specific, because it's short as well. But also, in that case, just kind of show off more stuff with it. Alright, so there we go. We were doing alright. Okay, yeah, this is the end level. I am doing better on this game than I thought I would. I'm nervous. I'm like, wait a second. I'm at the second to last level almost after about, not even an hour. I was like, wait a second, something's wrong. This is not what I was expecting. Yeah, I'll take the cross. Yeah, with this boss, you can kind of run the cross. But, yeah, I need a water break, my friend, but, before we get into that, yeah, this is the goal. He looks intimidating, but here's the deal. He'll punch straight down by that, then away, and then he'll go punch down. You basically use his hand as a platform and hit up there. And he'll do a launch off, knock everybody else. He'll hurt you that way. And also avoid the wave. If you get him to punch that way, yeah, sometimes he'll punch out of the direction, but if he punches, he'll do 3 punches, so as long as you kill the enemies on it, then jump up, do the Shadow of the Colossus thing, basically just toss the cross into him, or hit him with, hit him with the Vampire Killer. Yeah, as long as you understand the pattern, as long as I'm a little more careful, you know, not getting myself hit, or killing these things. That's actually also why I brought the cross, because the cross will take these things down really quickly, and then you can also jump up and just hit them. Yeah, we see the red, that means you were doing good. As classic Castlevania classic video gaming logic dictates. When you see the lights going on, it means that is usually you doing good stuff, unless the game is not designed well, in which case then, yeah, it's a question of, yeah, are you actually hitting stuff right? Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, because, I was talking about, going back to the Castlevania Judgment thing, I was talking about that with the Crusader 64, because he's a big one in Castlevania as well, in some degrees, although it's one that he's bigger into the Metroidvania style, like, well, he hasn't played Symphony of the Night. He liked the 3 on the Game Boy Advance, and the ones on the DS, and also, he's a big one on Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night specific. That idea of that element of Castlevania, and the 3D ones, because actually he really loves those 2 on the PS2. So, but he said with Judgment, he said he'd played Judgment, and the only reason he played Judgment, he has a friend who is such a huge fan of Castlevania, she bought Judgment even though she didn't have the Wii to play it. She said, like, I think she was visiting him, and she said, like, hey, I bought this Castlevania game on the Wii. I don't have the system for it. I know you do. Can we play it? I want to see it. I want to see what I spent my money on, or what that was. I don't remember them saying, like, hey, they didn't like it. I mean, in my case, I'll tell you, the only time I played it was actually around when it came out. What are your thoughts on Harmony of Despair? That's the one on the 360 and PS3, right? The sort of open, I guess, sort of multiplayer-ish one. I do have it. It was a free Games with Gold entry 1 month, and actually I think they're stopping that for the Xbox system, so I'm glad I have that. I initially played it, I didn't like it. I played the demo, I passed on it. Which I said, with the Xbox Live arcade stuff, everything that's demo, okay, it is that one. Alright, I didn't like it that much to start when I played it, but I said, okay, fine, it came with it for the Xbox Gold thing. Ow, shit. And he will speed up, by the way, and I'm running out of time. So I gotta get up there and kill him. Alright, one more hit and I got him. Yeah, and if I run out of time, I'm dead. But yeah, I'll have enough time, I think. As long as... Don't punch me far. Oh, shit! Alright, fine. I do start right here, so it's fine. I was not huge on it. I played a little more... I mean, because the thing... I guess you played it, yes? And You played on what, 360, PS3? I think PS3, there's a version of that I believe is a physical release, I think. Because it's download only initially for 360, they put it on PS3. I think there's a region-free disc on the PS3 that I think has local co-op to it. Because the co-op experience, I played both of them. Which one's better? I played it on 360, so I don't know, is it better on the PS3? Would be a case I should be tracking the PS3 version down, especially that disc. And I think it's one of those things that I didn't play it with people, so that's the other thing, because that's a game that, it's kind of this big map. It's almost like, God, I'm trying to think of, actually, you know, it's almost like Diablo a little bit in that, I don't know, you're kind of exploring a map. It's not like that in the sense that you're, you know, getting loot exactly, but you're building up your skills sort of for the boss encounter you run in there. But it's, I don't know, it might be one of those things that with more people I'd like it. I'd say they're both the same. Well, hey, fair enough. I mean, usually when you came to the PS3 and 360 era, later on into it, which I know that was later in the era of both of the systems, you didn't necessarily get a sense where it was better on one system or another. Or maybe it's a question of, you know, which controller would you rather play it with. I mean, either or really in the case of that one. It might be one of those cases that I might like it better. I mean, of what I played of it going back, I thought, it's not bad as far as what it is for it. And maybe also I was, you know, sort of clouded by the fact that I didn't pay for it because it came with the Games with Gold thing. Because Games with Gold, as we mentioned, anything from the Xbox 360, if you downloaded it when they had it, you have it forever, even if your Gold subscription is canceled or runs out. So I do have it. We can play. I gotta kill this thing. I'd be curious to give it another shot, as I mentioned, like Judgment, I mean, honestly. I think maybe the other thing is that, like, look, maybe I was that person as far as Castlevania initially, the thought of, I guess, maybe believing the thought that the 3D games were not great compared to the 2D games, but even then, I didn't play as much of the 3D, and we might see our first time over. And my first time over in this entire game, I don't think I've actually gotten time over, but I gotta be careful. Just kill those things, jump up there, vampire. Got him. Alright, he's dead. Except I still have to hit the orb, so yeah, remember the supermarket sweep thing, you have to have your hands on the money before the bell rings. Alright, come on, I have my hands on the orb before the time runs out. Boom, got it. Alright, that was close. Also, by the way, if time runs out, you die, I think. But we'll show off the manual later and say, like, how this is a digital game. Well, I have a way. I would definitely be curious to go into some of that stuff. So, hey, more stuff with Castlevania. I'll tell you, the thing, go back to the thing with the 3D thing. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe the thought initially with me was the thought of, you know, so used to 2D stuff. Although, to be honest, I didn't play Castlevania much until Symphony of the Night. That was the first one I played. And I rented it because, like, hey, I wanted to play this after I got my PS2. And I loved it. I don't care for it in that it's unplayable if you're going solo. Okay, so maybe that's it. The idea of games that open up when you're playing with other people. I'll tell you a game that sort of that the boss take forever to die. Okay, now that you're saying that, well, we're hearing, Aquarius. This music here, it is called Aquarius. It is from Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse for the NES, which makes sense, because, this is a sequel to that, technically. By 100 years, admittedly, but, yeah. Enter Stage 5, I am dreading this one. Let's see how this goes. I'm trying to think, when you said that, the idea of bosses taking forever when you don't have people to help you, maybe that's what I was thinking, the Diablo thing. Maybe a little faster online that way, in the sense it's better with people. In fact, I'll tell you, a game that opened up for me massively playing co-op with or multiplayer was a game I liked, sorta. Was also one that when I played it co-op, I liked it even more. It was Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, actually. Actually, when we do that, I think Nocturne wants to do the co-op for that specific. Yeah, we did co-op on that. I was like, this is the one that she hadn't played. I said, let's play this. And she was saying that, I was like, I really liked the mechanics of that. The thought that maybe it's more designed for that than even single-player play, although I'm more in the case, I'd say, of Castlevania Harmony of Despair a little. But I'm trying to think, there's, on the tip of my mind, or tongue, or both, a game that was designed, a game designed for fighting bosses with multiple people. Also careful here, because, yeah, this chandelier won't collapse, that one will on its own, so with it. In this case, you also have this, so toss that cross. Take advantage of the fact that when the cross is in the air like that, it runs multiple hits, so even if it doesn't do as much damage to the stuff, you still cut through stuff pretty easily. Easily relative. I don't know how the hell I'm doing this well on this. Maybe I did too well with practice, like another Konami game I practiced right before we did the show, which was Animaniacs on Super Nintendo. I did that in an hour and 15 minutes. If that happens again, we're going to probably do more with Rondo Blood, just because, like, wait, no. I did it too little, honestly. Or it'll be like Aladdin when we did that a couple months ago, when Nocturne did that a couple months ago. Yeah, it's also the case. Yeah, these things, they come down. They are sitting ducks when they collapse, but when they do collapse, they're hit there. So, yeah, if they fall onto you, they can get in your way or knock you back. So, yeah, you do want to be careful on that. And how the hell am I doing well? I gotta tell you, I'm kind of paranoid now, honestly, in this. I'm trying to remember if I want to hold this. You know, oh wait, yeah, we were in the clock tower, by the way. But yeah, okay, so like the thing with bosses for multiple characters when you're playing, like that design element. There's nothing said that the idea that it's designed for multiplayer, but then the question of, hey, what if you don't have people, and how do you know, replicate that? And I guess that going. Actually, I guess a game that sort of does that a little bit is Left 4 Dead from Valve and Turtle Rock, which is a first-person shooter when you're destroying zombies, and it's in groups of 4. The way that game tends to run is that it will replace the others with AI, which sometimes get in your way, so good luck getting that safety first achievement, where you can't, or it says don't shoot teammates. It always says that when I play that game in, you know, the computer co-op, then the idea that, oh, it's designed around playing with other people, but not impossible. But with Hungry Despair, yeah, it seemed like maybe it was more. The idea, like, how do you build it up? And also the idea that it's this huge map. It's almost like, I'll tell you, it's almost a little take on, I guess, Super Smash Brothers, in the sense that you have certain levels where they're huge and you can pull the map out as far as an option. I know Super Smash Brothers Melee started that. And when you do that, the idea that, look how tiny the characters are, so you kind of zoom in. But look, they do that, I know why, because you're on multiple people. They can go off in different places of the map, almost like Kirby and the Amazing Mirror a little bit. Except in that game, you couldn't really see where they were going to get the idea. And, oh yeah, damn. Okay, yeah, I was like, there was a talisman up there. Not that I necessarily needed it. Actually, I'm doing better with health, so should be set with this as we go along. Oh, and yeah, avoid the Medusas and the bone. Yeah, the bone hurts. Eh. I got him. Now, that being said, I am in a not-so-hot position here. Yeah, because this right here, that's hard to avoid, because that is a hook hand. The cog of the clock is going in a different direction. You got to run very specifically past to get through without taking damage. And be careful of the Medusa heads. I mean, at least they don't turn you to stone, but they still knock you back. That is not fun. Oh, shit! I wasn't watching where I was going there. Like, wait a second, no. Alright, here we go. And also, the time stop, by the way, the stopwatch will not work on bosses. Or on, yeah, any bosses. Mid-boss, sub-boss, mid-boss, full boss, whatever. Also, yeah, he'll shoot the orb out. He'll also shoot that thing on the ground. I believe it's random when it happens. You can sometimes knock him back, but sometimes do both at once. If he does that on its own, or the orb on its own, you can just duck under the orb, even though it looks like, yeah, it's going through me. If you get you too close, you're not going to have enough room to get out of the way. Ow, shit. I got him. Yeah, this game, the bosses are not taking forever to die somehow. And yeah, I'm close. And if I died there, by the way, I'd have to go back to the beginning of the clock tower. So a couple screens back, not bad as far as how it is, but still something that, yeah, every time you get a case of checkpoint, you want to take advantage of that. And, whoa. Okay, I was kind of stuck there. That was my fault. Not killing that thing faster because it falls down. I was like, he's dead. It was like, yeah, he's taking me out with him. It's usually after 2 hits, you get backwards there and then just at least have enough distance to hit him. And yeah, and every time you die, you do lose the power-ups you have on Vampire Coast. You have to get them again. But they're usually close by, so it's not too bad, really. Also, there is one hidden room I am absolutely taking on this one, because I only have 2 lives left, but for this one, it makes it way easier to run this. Also, yeah, they will walk off, so yeah, get out of the way. Yeah, there's the axe. They do give you the axe here, which is very useful for hitting the enemies above. But I guess that's how I'm realizing, I guess I'm having the success. The axe and the cross in certain ways. Oh. Okay, so. Going up here. Yeah, this is... Oh, right, I have to go that... Oh, wait, no, I have to go this way, because then I have to kill that thing. But actually, what I did... Okay, I did that differently. Usually, I climbed up the stairs on the right over there, and it has a broken area in it, and I have to go upwards the other way. Yeah, and also don't jump up too quickly there, because there are spikes there. They will not fall down, that I know of. But, yeah, gotta be careful. So, I guess that goes to one aspect of Castlevania, which I guess, I don't know if we really went into this enough when we played Symphony, or not Symphony of the Night, Bloodlines, which is... Castlevania tends to be about pattern memorization, really, and getting a sense of where enemies are, and if you can handle that, you can manage it usually without too much trouble. Yeah, I have the axe. What the hell am I doing? Just take him out from here. Just jump up and slice him. Actually, also, this is better, I guess, than Bloodlines, because like Bloodlines, I was dying constantly. This one, I'm fine. I don't want to jinx myself. I'm doing too good on this. I'm suspicious. You ever get into that case when you play a game, you think that, oh, you're doing too well, something should be happening, something wrong needs to be going wrong, and you're shocked, like, why is that not happening? That's right now with me on Castlevania ReBirth. Okay, fine, that's sort of right. Me getting hit with the eye. Yeah, I basically just had to ask the game to do that. I'm like, yeah, then gladly it'll take my advice. But that being said, I do want to get into this, out of this area, because, yeah, I'm on my last life, but there are 2 extra lives. Yeah, it'll add up with 2 extra lives. Unless I get more points as we go along to get to the next life. Alright, come on. Oh shit, no! I'm in the corner! Actually, I might die without this happening. Okay, well, alright, fine. I'm glad this happened only because I get to show what the game over is and also show the laughing of Death and Dracula. So you got that ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yeah, that is the Castlevania I know. Dying. You do have unlimited continues, though. But I mentioned, it starts you back at the beginning of the world, hence why I start with 5 or 6 lives as opposed to less than that. So yeah, we keep gathering our element as we go along and seeing the great attention to detail. It looks like a 16-bit Castlevania game, but with elements of, I guess, 32-bit, but also, when you really think about it, also, I guess, things that I guess the Wii was really going to be capable of with certain things with the backgrounds, in a lot of ways. Yeah, and M2, they knew exactly what they're doing with this. Even before the collections came out, they knew what they're doing with Castlevania and Contra as well. Actually, maybe the other reason also I'll beg for, re-releases all this stuff is because I didn't get the Gradius one. I got the Contra one, but I did not get the Gradius one. So I'll be very curious to play that. At some point, you definitely show that Contra one off for sure, but first Contra's going to be hardcore. After a lot of practice, for sure, but we will do hardcore, no question, as far as our first Contra game. Ow. Okay, I was pointing in the wrong direction. Yeah, sometimes that happens with the birds. In this case, fine, I'll take the Holy Water because I don't have anything else. Yeah, so yeah, it throws down and causes a flame there, which is useful. Actually, when you do get game over here, which is usually very likely, as I showed, you want to have the Holy Water to start. You only have the Holy Water. It is set weapon over there. And actually, for this next part with the, like the knight with the spear, or me just missing the jump. All right, that's my fault. Yeah, and there is, no checkpoint yet, so I have to get past the areas there. So at least I showed full force what's going on. Oh, I guess the question is going to be final boss. Because, yeah, this is not a long game, as I mentioned, but the challenge is consistent. So, yeah, if you haven't played this game before, understanding what the patterns are going to be like is going to take you a little more time. But you do get to enjoy all of this great music for sure. As I said, I thought I took the name of who did the music for this version or this game, but I guess I didn't. Unless, maybe I did. Yeah, I'm whipping here just to look in the notebook, see if I missed something somewhere. I'm just hitting. Yeah, I guess I didn't take it down. Alright, name will be below at the areas I indicate. It's one of those cases I took so many notes down for this because I wanted to talk about stuff with the music, stuff with history of the people who made it, people who worked on it, and all that stuff, as we tend to do. What I could find in the voice acting, as I mentioned, of what little there is in this game. That's the one part I forgot. Like, that's the one thing, but either way, that's what the edit's for. Okay, so yeah, let's do this again. Let's do this right as far as the Holy Water. And yeah, when you get game over, your scores reset. As I mentioned, every 45,000 points about, you do get a life. So when we get to that room I was mentioning, we will be able to get 2 lives off that. And I was able to test that specifically when I did test play on this because, as I mentioned, I think I lost count of how many times I got game over on this level alone. And then same on the last level, which is actually really short. It's just a boss, but still, that boss is tough stuff, so we're going to bring our A game. But no, gotta make sure I'm actually making the jump correctly this time. So yeah, even though you do have a time limit, it's usually going to be enough to handle things, so you don't have to worry necessarily about thinking like, oh, I'm going to run out. Although, fine, I showed us almost running out when it came to the last level. I think this one we should be okay, yeah. And yeah, when you see this, get rid of it because it hurts on contact quite a bit. And yeah, just get rid of the ectoplasm, which always is it. I remember those because of Symphony of the Night specific, and I guess I don't know what other Castlevanias they were before Symphony of the Night. Yeah, they're in that one. Yeah, he's walking away. I'm letting him walk away because I don't want him to hit me on the way over here. So just knock him down. I hit those things. All right. Oh, right, there's two of them here. I should know. I did this a few minutes ago. I guess that's what happens. I'll talk about this experience, and we can go on this as a discussion point if you'd like, or anything else you want, Chaz. Like, hey, open book on this program. You know that. If you've been in the show, hey, if you're new here, welcome, and we are open book, just to element that. But anyway, the experience of when you play a game so much, dying constantly, trying to understand the patterns of things, when do you get to the point where you start doing worse because you've done it so many times, and then also when is it that you finally do it and do it well, and then when you get to the end, if you succeed, then you think to yourself, oh my god, I got through that, I feel good, or I feel like, oh, I got through that, but I don't feel the satisfaction. This, I did feel the satisfaction, for sure, when I was doing the test on it. Especially this world, because this is long. But as I said, this is the last world in the game, so it makes sense. Oh, fine, the last main world in the game. Or last stage. But as I said, with the alternate paths there, it does give you a lot of value still to this game, so yeah, for $10 they were asking for this thing, or 1,000 Wii points, because Wii points were 100 to $1, or a cent was 1 Wii point, as it was. Rather, system went, yeah, the days of points before they said, yeah, let's just make it money. Oh, fine, that actually Sony said, let's just make it money. That was their idea. Or, to go to Charlie Brown's Christmas elements, just make it easier on yourself. Just send money. How about 10s and 20s? So yeah, 10 or 20 or 10 would have bought this game for you. Damn it. Actually, yeah, I probably should be using my, my time stop. Alright, yeah. Or I shouldn't have gotten rid of my axe. Oh, shit. Did I screw myself up here because I'm not gonna be able to jump to that? $10? Wow. Yeah, it was... Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was not bad for the price as far as it... Because it was part of, let's go into this again, the WiiWare service. Because I mentioned in the 2000s, and I'll make sure not to get the time stop again, because yeah, the axe is what I really wanted to have for the purpose. Yeah, get over here quickly. It was part of the WiiWare service of Nintendo's. They had downloadable games going against Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network as far as them doing downloadable games specifically. So Nintendo said, let's do something, and they got some developers involved with it. Questions as far as like how the developers were okay with that, because they didn't like certain things, especially the file size limit, because it was 40 megabytes. Actually, yeah, Xbox 360 had that too initially at 50 megabytes. And actually, interesting for that, because it was Castlevania that extended the limit of the download size. It was Konami, actually, who said, we're porting Castlevania Symphony of the Night to this. We were not able to compress the 750 megabyte PlayStation 1 game into 50 megabytes. Can we please have it? Can you please make an exception so we can have it as a higher file size for the system? Microsoft relented. They said, yeah, okay, sure. And at that point, then they enhanced the limit, I think, to 100 megabytes, and then to a gig, and then to 2 gig. No, 100 megabytes, and then I think to 500, then 2 gigs, and then they just said, yeah, just as big as you want, because it's hard drive and all that stuff. So yeah, for $10, yeah, this is definitely a good case of that. But with the Wii, that's the interesting thing with the Wii, because the Wii, I guess, here's the reason I guess Nintendo had that file limit, as I'm going to go and get the Talisman's the flashing light warning now. With the Wii has very small storage space on board with it, unless you use an SD card, and I do have an SD card for it. But on the Wii itself, yeah, the download on this was pretty big as far as filling up that internal memory. So the idea of managing your memory. So it was harder on the Wii to do that than with the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, where you had hard drives you could use of different sizes. I think I'm going to die to him. But hopefully I won't. We'll see if I can pull this out. You do push him back every so often you hit him, but... Come on. Oh, shit. At this point, I don't have to necessarily worry about that much anymore. Oh, shit. I didn't duck in time. Alright, so yeah, this shows what happens. Yeah, you go back all the way here. So yeah, I don't want to take damage as I go along. So that's the other challenge here. Not taking damage and being set for when you get to cases where, you know, get a checkpoint or get to a boss. There's the boss here. Yeah, 512 megabytes was all the Wii has for storage. Yeah, that is... I didn't remember that was actually the number, but yeah, you're right. It is tiny. And the Wii U was that way initially, too, because the Wii U, it launched with two variances. One that had 8 gigabytes in it, which was actually the size of the original Xbox's hard drive. And then 32 gigabytes. So with the Wii, the way to expand that was with SD cards. And actually, one thing I think with the Wii is that I don't think you can put saves of games on the SD cards unless the game supports it. I don't think. But feel free to correct me if that's not right, or I'll correct myself when I edit this. But yeah, that's not much, so you're right. If you're going to be fitting a bunch of games, I mean, you're not fitting games like, well, I mean, look, for 360 with Castlevania Symphony of the Night, no, fine, let him walk off, just let him go. In that case, yeah, you weren't going to be fitting the full case of Symphony of the Night unless that 360 edition. As I mentioned, the people who made Super Meat Boy, Team Meat, they said, Nintendo said you have to cut this file down. They said, we're not doing that. We think it's going to compromise the quality of the game. So they said no to Nintendo. Sorry about that. I like Nintendo, but storage-wise, they suck. Well, I mean, that's a question. That's come with the Switch a little, although the Switch is better in the sense that you have micro SD cards, so you do have more of a storage running to it. But, I mean, I think that's maybe the question also as far as how it is. I mean, if nothing else, they do give you that option for storage. In fact, Wii U, I'll go into that. Because I mean, I've told you, I built up the Wii U war chest. We've shown that off with some stuff before. But I have it, I think like a 2 terabyte hard drive I have connected to my Wii U for the purpose of everything. So that covers everything I could ever need. So in that case, you're right, being able to expand. I mean, even Xbox One, because the idea is like, look, now that games are installed, everything, to every system, basically, generally speaking, yeah, you usually need a lot of storage for that. Like Xbox One, I have an external drive for that. When we played Sonic Mania, I mean, I have that. Anything we played, I have the external drive just there. But I'm almost running out of space on it. That's the second one. I have the internal one, and then I have that. So it's like, how are you managing your storage? And then Nintendo, because Nintendo doesn't really have... Okay, I guess fine, okay, they have a... Fine, they do have... I was going to say they don't have a hard drive. I mean, they sort of have a hard drive. I mean, the Wii has one in that it's the internal memory. And same with Wii U that way. I mean, not the same way as Microsoft and Sony. And actually, I'll say this with PS3, I'll go over that. Okay, good. Yeah, the hitbox turned off. Thank God. When I bought PS3 about a year ago, the one I got for $100 is one that had only the 40 gig drive. And I said, okay, first thing I'm doing is let me go and get another drive, but it's not like the other ones where you can use an external one. You actually have to get the SATA hard drive, the one you put into a computer. So it's basically, I'm pretty much, it's like, you know how they'd say rebuild a PC for gaming or something like that? I'm rebuilding the PS3, so I have a terabyte drive on that, so I never have to worry about storage, pretty much, on it. Well, fine, not for a while anyway, for that. So it goes to the question of how do you manage that, and also how is Nintendo doing it, and where have they gone with it, problems with it, I guess going back. I mean, even GameCube, because in GameCube, the memory card they gave, the default one, had 59 blocks. The Nintendo 64 had on 123 card, or page memory card, or controller pack. That's a problem. Oh shit. Yeah, fine, whatever, I have the checkpoint. I shouldn't have to buy a SD card, just have the same storage memory as other systems. Yeah, I mean, there's something to that, you're right, as far as like, how are they gonna give that, and then the idea of, managing space. Yeah, fair enough, you're right, although as I said, feasibly with... Because I guess, like with modern stuff, you'll play Switch for sure, I know that, and I mentioned that too. But I guess, since you're also one with PS4, actually, I don't know if I've actually put this to a lot of the people I know who have PlayStation 4s, honestly, which is how they handle memory stuff. And also, for that matter, do they necessarily have many, many games where you'd have to be managing memory like a madman or madwoman specific to that, as far as saying, I need to manage it and then buy more stuff. I mean, Xbox One, I still have to buy more stuff, even with the drive that they give with it. And same with PS3, but yeah, with Nintendo, you're right, that thought of like, how much storage is enough when you start? And that's a good question. 32 gigabytes, I guess as far as Wii U is concerned, not enough because, fine, for Switch as well, because I have to constantly delete stuff. Yeah, and there's something to that as well, the idea of like, how are you going to manage that? And hey, because some of that storage can be a bit of money, sometimes it'll proliferate enough so that, you can get it cheaper over the years, but then the question of, how is it going to operate? And I guess that goes to another question, which is, how much storage, I guess, would be enough for a system? I mean, it's probably going to depend on the system and also how big, like, the file sizes are. I mean, like, with PlayStation, or fine, PlayStation 3 specific. Oh, and I'm out of hearts. Yeah, so I hit up and it's not doing anything. Yeah, I am gonna lure them over. Well, I have this. I mean, it's probably gonna depend on the system. Actually, with PS3, I'll go into this. As I mentioned, when I bought Persona 5 earlier this year, I was like, that was one of the... Actually... Okay, fine. When it comes to stuff I have on the PS3, a lot of that stuff has to install, because what I have disc-wise, I have Persona 5, I have, BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, which I started doing stuff with, because at some point I know we're going to go with that game, and Metal Gear Solid 4, and the idea of install stuff, but then the idea of, you know, everything getting installed. Shit, and I missed the jump. That was my fault. Oh shit, that was my last life. Oh no, this is my last life. Okay. Okay, so I gotta be careful now. I gotta get to that room. If I don't get to that room, I'm screwed. And I don't want to go back to this again if I can avoid it, but I'm probably gonna have to. We'll see. Okay, good. It's like, I thought this game was going too smooth. It's like, I was suspicious. I said, no, I'm doing too well. This is not right. I need to go back to failing the way I was the other day. But, ow. Yeah, the game is granting my wish. Yes, we keep going into that as well, the idea of how storage is. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going up that way, because otherwise I'm gonna get hit by that thing. Ow. Yeah, just jump over him. I'll see if I can make that room. Hopefully I can. Or just, you know, get enough stuff so I can use the axe to go into the room. Yeah, don't miss. Fine, I'm missing too much. Yeah, that's 2 hearts, by the way, for run on that. Yeah, feel free to go stuff as far as, like, memory storage. What's enough for you? I guess will be enough, I guess, for the Nintendo. So I guess we're talking Nintendo with Switch, that on board, what should it be running? Like, a gig's worth? Feasibly. Look, I know why Nintendo does this, probably because usually with Nintendo, they want to keep the cost down of their consoles. I don't think there's really ever been a situation where Nintendo's system is more expensive than its competition, even when it's going directly against stuff. So that's probably the way they do it, but then the question of, you're right, how's that work? And as I mentioned, going back feasibly to the N64 with that, with the control pack. When we play Snowboard Kids 1, it takes up the whole or the whole controller pack, basically, for that. So it's a question of how's that going to operate. Alright, come on, bone people. Okay, I got both of them, so fun, they're dead. Also, yeah, in this case, yeah, when you hit that, the stairs come over this way, but I want to see if I can hit him, or use the fire to hit him. That'll work. Alright. Actually, as far as the Wii, just to go to that, I'm trying to remember how much I have as far as storage on that SD card specific. I'll look into that. I'll put an edit here at the bottom when I add the same. What is it? I mean, as I said, in my case, it's not going to matter much because most of my stuff is... in fact, I'll tell you one thing with this is that since there's a specific, you know, intro animation where you go into the Wii channel for the game, I said I want to put it on the system because it truncates it if you play it off of the SD card. So I said, fine, we're going after this one. Actually, yeah, if I get to that room, I will definitely get another life because I'm almost at 40,000. Alright, yeah, so die! I got him. The PS4 Slim is a terabyte's worth, which is 887 gigabytes of usable data after the system or the system initialization data. Yeah, fair point to that as well. So that's a good amount that way as far as what you're going to run. But I mean, if you buy a lot of games, say, it's going to take up a lot of that space. Okay, so I can go down and fight that thing. We're not doing that because I need to also go to the room. And the only way to get to that room, and if we can get there without dying, because I don't have much health, you have to go up the top and hit the stairs this way. Get the holy water. That's not good for what I'm needing. Yeah, just go this way. Go the top path. Because the top path will take you a little differently around. Okay, yeah, those are also worth points. So in this case, you do want to pick up stuff that's worth points. Alright, you gotta make this jump. There's a key there in that candle. The red candle on the left over there. And you do have to go down there in order to get the elevator going. Alright, so let me see. And do I have enough for this? Okay, so... Oh, I have the key. Right, I got rid of it. So, yeah, I can't use the holy water now. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. If I can get that room quickly... Oh, I got a life. Thank God. Alright, yeah, 40,000 points is a life. Alright, so... In that case, it might not matter, so I can at least get my next life back. Hopefully. Yeah, going this part is not easy. And they will stay below, or the skull things there will stay below the elevator, so you won't get hurt. Specific. The only thing that will hurt you feasibly... Okay, fine, I lied. I think they sort of come up. Yeah, the key door's right here. There's a spike thing here. I might die getting this. Oh, fine. They'll kill me anyway. Alright, never mind. Okay, so I'm going to be getting 1 life off of this, but it does give you a checkpoint right here. I do this again and get the key I need. Yeah, I don't know if the 1 life, even with me able to get that, is going to be enough for what I'm doing, but we'll try. I said, this is where the length of the play is coming through, and I prepared for that. I was like, I'm gonna acknowledge that. I know that this is gonna be part of the... Wait, what did I get hit by? I'll look back on the edit, see what I get hit by. Probably the side of the spike. Because, yeah, the sides of the spikes will hurt you. Which makes sense. Castlevania logic dictates it for sure, but it's the question of, like, wait, I didn't realize what I even got hit by. It would have been better if I didn't get hit that way. And honestly, with the health I have, it's probably better I do this. Yeah, we'll stop there and go in. Okay, got it. Right, because here's the thing. Flashing light on the talisman right here. They're dead. There are a lot of points here. Those gems are worth 5,000 a pop. That'll usually get you towards an extra life, but I already got one, so it's not. But hit this, yeah, you get the Christopher Belmont indication that is life. You want to come this way if you're playing this. Those are the higher difficulties. You can choose not to, but yeah, I'm not recommended. Also, there is a axe over on the left, and you're gonna want that here. Oh shit! Get rid of that thing. Which I gotta put the name of what that thing is, because I don't remember, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, interesting thing to go as far as, like, the storage thing and the idea of, like, the Wii being behind, or fine, Nintendo being behind, but also the idea of what do you have to do for that, and then where does it go under certain things. Because, actually, I'll tell you, actually, we mentioned this, we did part 2 of Parasite Eve. Edwack, who was on that show, he said, I have tons of stuff on the Switch. He has walls worth, specific of it, but, right, there we go, that's that. And these things will keep coming, so, just have to fight him as much as how it is. Yeah, in that case, like, he has tons of space. Like, how do you manage that, and how do you manage, like, the storage of that on top of, you know, system organization as far as how it is. These muscle relaxers and ibuprofen I took, ow, shit, earlier are making me sleepy. Well, if you want, yeah, well, I get that for sure. Yeah, feel free to rest as far as what you want to do, as far as, ow, shit. Okay, remember, you're not going to be missing anything because we're editing for the purpose of that, yeah. Hey, good as far as the end of the week, you know, being able to rest that way. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through this, so I think we're going to start this world over again. And I'm not going to edit this because, as I mentioned, for the purpose of this, I mean, it's not like when we did Bloodlines, like, I'll go on one thing on Bloodlines, when we played it. I used the Castlevania Anniversary Collection actually to play that. I used save states to kind of rewind on certain things, and I actually edited that down because it was happening so much. But with this one, I don't have an option for that. The only thing you actually have here is a continue option after you know, quit to the title screen, but, oh, fine, we're going to continue now. But in the case of that one, okay, so this one, yeah, you just have this. It just takes you back to the level. Yeah, we're at the beginning of the level again, so, yeah, we're going to have to go through this as well. We're getting through this game, don't worry. Hey, if nothing else goes to the stuff with the chat discussion, but yeah, if you want to take a lie down as far as how that is, feel free to do that. The show will be all here in a couple of days when I do the edit. I had a great time, you know, going into this with you, Electverse, and everybody else as far as chat is concerned. I mean, I'll say one other thing. Look, we'll talk about this, because I said, hey, I'm indicating the fact that this game is difficult. So, as I said, it's one of those things that, I'll tell you, I'm not always upset when, you know, I get to a case where I'm dying in a game like this, because if I say a game is hard, well, fine. When I say a game is hard, well, fine. If it's easy, there are times, like, sometimes it makes for an interesting show, if nothing else, just because that could be a fun thing. But, outside of that, it gives more validity to the fact that if I'm saying it's hard, it's like, look, as I said, for the first 4 levels of this, I was saying, like, I said this game is hard, you're probably looking at that and saying, like, no, it's not, you're doing really well. It's like, yeah, you're right, but, that was with practice. Without practice, I would not be doing nearly as well as that. Now, at this point, yeah, I'm in trouble. And this is even with the extra lives I gave myself. Yeah, imagine doing a 1 life on this baby. I mean, you can do that, and more power to you if you can do it, but, yeah, I can on this one. Oh, shit. Oh, well, fine. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. Yeah, fine. I like when it's difficult because you get to see more. Well, I mean, that's the other thing. It gives more material for show. It gives more, you know, elements of that. It also gives you, if nothing else, I guess, more of a scope of what we're looking at. I mean, especially for this game. Because of the fact that this game has multiple paths to it. I mean, fine, there's the one path I'm always taking because they'll get me lives for this level. Anyway, you get to see what's happening when you go a certain way. So it makes it really interesting, and it does give it a lot of variety. And in fact, we'll go into that as well, because for this show so far, when it comes to Castlevania stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff with Castlevania we're going to do. I know Electverse indicates stuff he wants to see. I'll briefly show off Run of Blood at the end of this because I have it on this system. Because I don't think this is going to take me 4 hours to do this, I hope. Either way, all the Castlevania games we played so far, which is this one and Bloodlines, they are what they call the Classicvania element. And Dollyfin, feel free to go into your elements on Castlevania if you have any or experience with it. If you'd like to go into that. But they're the Classicvania games in that they're linear 2D, left-to-right platforming games where you're basically just kind of going to the end, fighting boss, and going on to the next stage. Where you just have, like, the Metroidvania concept, which is mixing, like, the Metroid concept of an interconnected world with a Metro, or from Metroid, specific with, Castlevania. That was Symphony of the Night, the first game that did that, and a lot of the other 2D Castlevania games went that way, and then they went 3D with other stuff that was kind of its own thing. So, as far as the classic style of going the left to right, the really old way of running it, this is the most recent one. And it's also playing with that a little bit the same way Rondo of Blood did. Because I would personally say, and feel free, chat, to indicate if you agree with this or not, I would still consider Rondo of Blood a Classicvania game if you really want to indicate that. Although it does blur the lines a bit because, like, this one does give you the extra paths through levels. But in that case, it is interesting to kind of get that sense of what that is. And, oh shit, yeah, I don't want to have that happen. I'll find it. Yeah, just walk off, my friend. That's funny. See, seeing more, you're right there, Dollyfin, in the sense that you can just say that, oh yeah, that looks funny to see him, like, walk off, because, yeah, they will, yeah, those enemies will walk off. Not every enemy will. So sometimes you can get a sense of understanding the pattern of your enemies, and with Castlevania, that's always how it is. The way to be good at Castlevania, of any of them, I will say, as far as my experiences, is understand the patterns of enemies, and also understand cases of how the design is, and also, for depending on which ones have time limit, like, hey, you might not need to, you know, rush. Fine, you're not rushing in this. They give you more than enough time to get there, more than enough time to explore, while also keeping you moving. But other ones, they won't have time limit. Actually, a lot of those, the Metroidvanias don't have that. Rondo Blood doesn't have that. So, in that case, it kind of changes some stuff up to that as well. Will also give me a sense of, yeah, you're right, being able to see more and kind of understanding stuff. Yeah, we've seen the Medusa heads a lot. They keep going in the zigzag pattern. They keep coming. So at this point, understanding when's the best time to hit them. When you time it, you can hit the whip out to them. Get that thing there so that, yeah, you can get him to knock down far enough away that he won't be blocking you, but close enough you can still hit him with the Vampire Killer. Understanding the range of the Vampire Killer, the whip. Because, yeah, you hit with the little orb at the end, but you can hit anywhere with it and still make contact. But with some of the bosses I think I've shown so far, and I know the last one, it's going to depend on, yeah, right there, good thing with the pause there, just the sense of, like, the Vampire Killer going right through the enemy, but also sometimes just hitting them right with the edge of it. So you're right, you do get that element going too, and yeah, I gotta be careful, because yeah, when you fall down, I can't turn in air, damn. Yeah, that case, yeah, just avoid the Medusa, so yeah, trying to adjust that way too. Muscle reactions can really can knock you out of life bursts, especially when I'm hurting my back. I'm sorry to hear that, Dollyfin, for that. I guess if that was recent or just your experience with it, either way. Ow, damn. I think that fireball, whatever that was, the ghost thingy, was behind the ectoplasm. Like, yeah, that was not nice, friends. Oh, that's the other thing I guess I'll say about Castlevania. It's hard, but it is fair. Every time I'm getting myself killed, like, yeah, I was stupid doing something. So it's like, okay, fine. I gotta understand my patterns better and be better. So yeah, you're right, that idea is like, so, hey, you know, I guess the idea that, or maybe the idea like, would you need like a relaxer for a game like this? I mean, this isn't, as I mentioned, this isn't even the hardest game in this franchise. I'd say that'd probably be Haunted Castle of all of them, but then also Castlevania 3, particularly the US version. The Japanese version is easier. For some reason, they made it harder for us. Or Simon's Quest, the NES game, which is kind of, actually, that's kind of a Metroidvania game too, in the sense that you go through a non-linear area to kind of find stuff and go through dungeons. A little Metroid-like, but it's not like the Metroid stuff explicitly. Oh, come on. Ow. Yeah, I want that electricity to go, but I also want to get closer. In that case, you know what? I don't care. Just keep hitting them so I get them out of the way. Alright, so yeah, we were in better shape. I do have 5 lives going in here. Thank God. So, okay, that was lucky. You saw that, right? I hit the... Yeah, right when I hit the whip. So actually, yeah, when you pull the whip out, that does count as a hitbox. So yeah, when he has it in the curve like that, when you just hit the button, that does count as being able to hit an enemy. So for something as simple as just jumping and using the whip and then using your sub-weapon, getting killed by the bone. There is actually a lot of strategy you can go to this, so you're right, you can see more and understand more, and I'll tell you, when it came to the test on this game, and that's why I think with this one specifically, and actually with a lot of the Castlevania games really, why I feel such a strong sense of accomplishment to get through is that I understand as I'm playing along, or I've gotten to a point of going through that I've really grown. You grow as a gamer when you play this game, and a lot of the best games that are difficult, you understand. Actually, Dolphin, you said that when we played, to a certain extent, with Tetris Attack. It's a game that's got hard elements to it, but when you succeed with it, it feels great. You feel like you've really accomplished something. You feel like you've understood how the operation of the game is, and you feel like you've been rewarded by that victory that you get. And Castlevania is like that too. I mean, it is a very hard game. There's some insanely hard games in this franchise, for sure. But that's the other thing, is that that's why it's so good. And as I mentioned, this version specific, this would be a great one, as I mentioned, for them to re-release, not only because it's gone, but also because, hey, you've never come to a classic Castlevania game before, you think the other ones might be too hard. This is a great one to get the training wheels going with the Whack and the Knot back and the other modifiers for it. So yeah, you can make it as easy to get yourself started and then run that way. In fact, that's what I did when I played for the test. I said, I ran this easy just to get a sense of what that was. I said, well, I'll do normal next, and that's what we're running now. Yeah, that's how I was indicating. Oh yeah, I agree with that, Dolphin. And there's something to be said about that, and I said, that's a good element to go in with a game like this, because yeah, as I said, I don't know what your experience is with Castlevania, if you played any of them, or if you have a unit that has them, or what you have specific to them for it anyway. So yeah, we can keep going into that for sure. But yeah, in my case with Castlevania, it's one that I remember hearing stuff about. I didn't play it growing up that much until Symphony of the Night, and that's the one that kind of made me realize, yeah, I really like this stuff. And then when they became more available with a lot of the collections, that was a great thing. So to be able to get some of these, and some of these can go for a bit of money on top of, you know, this one not being modern available, having a modern availability case. So that idea as well. I mean, I think I've been saying this actually to one of my coworkers. I said this to the Crochet Nerd 64. I said, if they did the Anniversary Collection and the Advanced Collection, what's the next one they should do? And he said, do the ones on the DS, the Dawn of Sorrow, Order of Ecclesia, and Portrait of the Ruin. Oh, I think Portrait of the Ruin came before Order of Ecclesia. And then I'd say, like, yeah, Rondo of Blood. Well, fine. Rondo of Blood's on PS4 in the Castlevania Requiem collection. And Symphony of the Night, PSP version is in that as well. Symphony of the Night is on 360 and Xbox One and Series S and X, available as download. And then, and then this. Yeah, this one above anything else. And then the Nintendo 64 ones, the 3D ones. And I think, like I was saying with Judgment, honestly, with Judgment, it's one that, it's fighting game for Castlevania, weird with some of the character designs too, but one that I'd be very curious just to kind of play again, because as I said, it's been a while since I played it, and it's one of those cases sometimes a fresh set of eyes, a fresh look after a while can do it, and flashing light warning once more as I hit this. Yeah, but everything dies really nicely, and all those orbs. Yeah, so I get enough for 40,000 points, and then hit this for a life. Alright, that's 6 lives. We are going to be in good shape, hopefully going into the boss here, which is Death, by the way. Who is voiced by, that's Travis Willingham, who's voicing Death. Okay, so I already said who he was. We'll talk about that when we get to, Dracula, because, yeah, as is warrant usually with Dracula, it is, he's the final boss in this game. And actually, it is the same voice actor as in, oh shit. At first I thought, wait, did I hang on to something? Like, this doesn't have a hang mechanic. That's, Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo that has that. Yeah, it is actually the same voice actor as in Castlevania Judgment. It is, you know, when I get out of a situation that we'll go into. Actually, I'll go into that when we get to the next level. Because it's going to take a bit of time. Yeah, we should be okay. As long as I don't act totally reckless. With 6 lives, I'm in good shape. But the next couple parts of this are pretty tough. And yeah, with the enemies, they're just kind of coming out of nowhere. Yeah, if you have the axe, throw it upwards. That is definitely the skill you want to use. Or hey, you can make it harder on yourself or take a different path, saying like, hey, you like to use the cross or the holy water or the knife if you really want to be running that way. Alright, so there is more money. Yeah, the money is your points, by the way, so it is classic logic. Yeah, there. Yeah, so you have to jump on the clocks. It looks cool, but damn is it hard. Alright, there is the cross. Actually, the cross is what I want to have here. Yeah, be careful there, because, yeah, they can knock you back and you can fall in the pit and die, which is usually what happens with Castlevania, so I think I think that's what Life was getting at, saying that, you know, no knockback, sign me up. I was like, yeah, exactly. As I said, I don't know if there's another Castlevania that doesn't have it. Also, by the way, hit that, the clock goes. You can walk over this. It doesn't look like you can, but I also got myself killed. So I had to unfortunately go back. It's not too far for this. So yeah, the checkpoints are spaced out decently enough in this. So like, yeah, when you have to retread your steps, it's not awful. It's not like, oh, you have to go back to the beginning of the level each time you die. When you get a game over, you do, for sure. So it is going to punish you that way. But it's not insane, or it's not Ninja Gaiden. When you talk about stuff of classic game like this, that's insanely tough, Ninja Gaiden. There's those NES games. The first one, when you're at the last level, you die at all. You have to go back, I think, like 2 levels, I believe. It's like, oh, Jesus. And Ghosts and Goblins, which I showed on the Wii menu that I have for this, which is, yeah, if you don't get the right item at the end of the game, you have to go back a level 2, and if you don't, and you still have to beat the game twice, it'll tell you, like, oh, this isn't the real ending. You have to beat again in the same sitting. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting when we do Ghosts and Goblins, for sure. It's a Contra Hardcore case, so we're going to practice that. But even Contra Hardcore isn't that hard. It's just that, yeah, I'll have to get this stuff set. Same with this one. It's like, yeah, the only reason I'm doing even halfway as decent as I am with this is because I practiced. And sometimes that's what I'll do. I want to practice a game because I want to at least show the fact that I'm caring enough about the fact that I say we're going to show a game and play it to the degree that you want to see it. Whether it's something you, especially if it's something that people ask for. Like, if people ask for something, like, I damn well better be practicing it so they'll be set. So I'll show it off. So, like, I'm going to show that respect to what they asked for, to say that I'm going to play this to the best of my ability and show off what it is. Hey, stuff happens difficulty-wise, it happens. That's fine. But at least show that way as we go along. Alright, we are almost at the end of this part, but, you know, our troubles are just going to be beginning. So at least I'll get more ammo for my sub-weapon. Oh shit, no! Yeah, thank God I have the normal control on. In fact, I will show the classic control as one of the last things we do for this game. And I think, depending on how this goes, I might also show off a preview on Rondo Blood. Oh shit! Okay, that's what happens right there. Yeah, you get knocked back. And you have to go back here. So yeah, that's usually what happens in games like this. And Ninja Gaiden, that happens all the time in as well. You get a knockback like that, you fall in the pit and die. So yeah, I didn't even lose my health. It's just that I got knocked back like an idiot because it was not in the right direction. I'm gonna die here anyway because the skeletons with the bones are killing me. Yeah, I just need to get to the next checkpoint, which I believe is where the boss is. Because the room before the boss room is a checkpoint. Thank God. Yeah, in that case, I just got to be careful, you know, not hitting stuff or not getting hit by stuff, which with Castlevania that tends to always be the hardest part for me, which is that you run into stuff that there's always things there like, yeah, you just gotta keep moving, but then it's the question of, oh yeah, something comes out of nowhere and hits you. So you have to really pay attention to your surroundings in a level. Yeah, right up there. And down there, right there, perfect. So I died right that way, showing that. Like, it came up for me. It's like, oh crap. Alright. Ow. Ow. Yeah, okay, the bones hurt bad. I didn't even remember they hurt that badly. Alright. And also, I am past that room where I can get the extra lives, so I don't want to do this level again. I mean, I guess if we have to, so be it, but I'm gonna try and avoid it. Well, in that case, yeah, you have to kind of wait for the pendulum to come, or go left and right enough so that you can match it when it's there. So just a wait in that case. Yeah, you are on time limit, but sometimes you do have to wait. So yeah, the patience can be your virtue, even though you still have to keep moving. So it's that extra tension that way. You're getting a sense of, okay, yeah, I can't dawdle completely, but sometimes you have to kind of stop and say, okay, let me make sure I do this, because otherwise, you know, rushing into something can get you in trouble. Yeah, he went off, so like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, and the cross is definitely useful. One thing I guess to go into with that, yeah, the boomerang, or it's also called the boomerang. Fine, it was called the boomerang in Castlevania NES because of the fact that Nintendo was not liking the indication initially of, ow. Oh, it's like, okay, that was preemptive that way. It's like, wait a second, the ectoplasm got me. Nintendo was kind of concerned as far as the depiction of religious symbols, and Castlevania is all about that in a lot of ways because of the fact of how that operates. Ow. And Zelda as well, or Zelda 1 anyway. So they called it the cross in the manual, but yeah. Oh, no, they called it the boomerang in the manual, but it is the cross, so... In the years past, that kind of went away that way, but, yeah, that was the idea. Also, by the way, when you die, you do... Yeah, you reset with, I believe, 5 hearts. So you do have some ammo to run your sub-weapon, but you also lose your sub-weapon. So you have to get it again, but as I mentioned, some of the candles do have the sub-weapon specific, but I am close to another life. So as long as I can get that, I should be okay. Yeah, just wait for him to go. Yeah, a couple more enemies killed, I should be able to get him. Alright, yeah, I just want to stop for a second. Okay, actually, maybe it's not... Alright, maybe it's not always 40,000. Or maybe it's one of those cases where it increases on point value. I think maybe it goes up to like 50,000. Alright. Yeah, I want him out of the way so I can, fine, kill him. Oh, yeah, don't let him fall in front of me. Yeah, get that. Just to have as much ammo as I can have for the sub-weapon when I get to the boss. Because I'm nervous about this boss. This is not an easy one. I think the cartoony sound effect of the bone-throwing skeletons there is like, yeah, sounds cartoony, but yeah, stay away. Alright, so yeah, I'll do what I should have done last time, which is... Yeah, let that thing come by. Shit! Yeah, I was gonna stay out of the way, get that, but then I got knocked in the pit and died. Alright, so... Oh, crap. I think we're gonna have to restart this. I think I'm probably gonna have to restart this level. I don't think I beat this in one life. I don't think. Unless I can get myself... life somehow with points. We'll see how this goes. I hope not. I don't want to have to restart the level. Remember, that was with 6 lives I came here. So yeah, this is where the length of this game is coming, as I mentioned. But, alright, let's do that. And in the meantime, though, since we're going through that, feel free, chat, to go into anything else you have on your mind game-wise. Observations on what you're seeing, or this game, or other stuff with, delisted games. Because I mentioned, I think, we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, the thought of, I wanted to do a delisted, game night specific. And I'm gonna do that, for sure, at some point. We definitely will. And stuff to show off for the purpose of that. Because, hey, there's good stuff that, yeah, you'd like to see come back. Ooh. Okay, fine. Doing that to me now is fine, because at that point, it's, no issue. No, no. Alright. Alright, there goes the cross. Alright, fine, I'm using the axe then. Oh no. Ah, the axe. Alright, the bone got me. Alright, we are starting the level over, unfortunately. Yeah, as I said, I was prepared for this because this was, North part, so yeah, back to the beginning of the level. But, yeah, I mean, hey, one thing also to go into, unlimited continues at least, so it's not like, actually, a lot of other games of Konami's, or sometimes, cases of stuff with Konami, where they have, limited continues, so the idea of getting through a game without being able to start the level over. I mean, in this case, I think it's a fair penalty, the idea that, okay, fine, I screwed up with the 6 lives I had. I had to go back to the beginning of the level and do better next time. Or to go to the Sonic Adventure 2 perspective, I gotta do better next time. It's like, yeah, that was Tails' case for sure, that looking positive, looking on this bright side of life when it came to getting the E rank in that game. But, I guess that's the idea of what he's operating. Yeah. As I said, as long as I can get back to that area with the 2 lives again and then just not screw up the end of it, I'll be in good shape. And yeah, at that point, also, yeah, just jump down, because the bird, by the way, will not... It'll go into an arc to follow you backwards, but if you're out of its distance, when it comes back, he won't come back again. He'll just fly by once, and that's it. So sometimes you get the choice of saying, like, no, I don't want to attack an enemy. If you want. But in some cases, yeah, you're gonna have to fight. You're taking care of the Fleaman in particular, that's always the case for that. Whoa. Is the only other thing to go into, I guess, with this is saying, look, with the difficulty, I mean, the other thing, as I mentioned, how this game is fair, that's because the controls are so good, especially this one. You don't get the sense of really seeing the idea of it being super stiff, even when you turn on the, you know, the old way of playing. Fine, it's stiff by design the way it was before, but it doesn't feel necessarily like it's unfair exactly. It just feels like it's older design, so you sometimes have to adjust, and it's one that you're willing to adjust, or at least I'm willing to adjust for some of this stuff. Depending on what it is, I might not be, but for this, absolutely. Even for some of those earlier Castlevania games, I'm willing to do it because of the atmosphere. I mean, and it is such a great... Oh, shit! Like, yeah, that almost killed me. Alright, but I will hit the checkpoint at least now. Like I said, there's nothing like when you're at your Halloween case playing Castlevania and definitely getting yourself in that Halloween spirit. All the horror stuff. And it goes into them very well and mixes them very nicely. And one thing I also go into as far as the stuff, as far as other Castlevania games will do, I know I've only done 2, and I know that they've always been in October. I know there's stuff that we're going to do with that. I don't necessarily want to have this just as an October thing, because Castlevania is a franchise that's worth playing any time of the year, really. So, and I know some of those ones we're going to do, especially the 2 on the PS2. I know that's going to run multiple parts. So, I'll try and do one, I guess, fine, do one just not just in October. I mean, I think October is worth doing because, hey, tradition. You think October for Halloween stuff, you want to do Castlevania, and that's why I picked this one, because A, it's not available widely. I don't get the sense people played this for that very reason. I know people say, like, I missed this one entirely because either I didn't have the Wii, I didn't buy it in time, or whatever that was. Oh yeah, come off the platform, friend. Yeah, he's just falling as he falls. Yeah, and the other thing is, I don't know where the health is here, because there is hidden health, but I have not found any yet. It's usually in the walls. Alright, we'll see what I can do with this. Alright. Actually, yeah, can the axe reach him from here? Yes, it can. Alright, so yeah, smart utilization of the sub-weapons. Alright. Yeah, we're coming out to the boss again. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through him with the health I have, but we'll see what I can do. I guess if you're going to be finding secrets, specifically as far as levels in the walls, pretty much whip the wall. Whip anywhere as far as it. I hope maybe something pops out. Sometimes it might. How did I get hit by that? It looked like I got hit by that. I don't know how that happened. I'm going to have to go back on the edit and see what happened there. Alright, get back. Yeah, I'm usually expecting him to do both the orb and the ground shockwave. And the shockwave does get higher when his health is down. Yeah, and the boss is usually just trying to get an opening when you can get as many hits and avoid not getting killed. Ugh. Ow. Alright, got him. Alright, thank God. We don't have to do that again. It's always one of those cases I get really tense when I'm in a phase of saying, like, okay, I'm at a place where there's a checkpoint, and if I die here, I have to go back. But, thankfully it did not. At least not yet. Yeah, if the Medusa's take me down, I'm not gonna like that. Alright, off you go, off you go. Also, one other thing is, when you're on the stairs, you can't use your sub-weapon. You just do whipping. And getting on the stairs is the same as always, hit up, oh fine, is mostly always hit up on D-pad to walk up. Fine, hit up to walk onto it, and then left and right to go left and right on it. Oh shit. Oh, yeah, that was close, Jesus. Oh yeah, I should be doing, yeah, I'll do to him what I should have been doing when I did him a test play, which is, instead of going up there and putting myself at risk, just whip him from a distance. Eh. I'm almost out of this part. I do have some hearts, so I can use that for the next section. I know I'm going to need the axe there. For them, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm amazed I avoided getting hit with the spear there. Okay, that was lucky. Yeah, those will take 3 hits with the fully upgraded the whip. It's a vampire kill. That's the name of it. It is the whip that defeats Dracula, and it's going to defeat him again. Come hell or high water, we're defeating Dracula. Don't worry. And so far in good shape. We'll see how this holds. It's probably just get everything. Like, yeah, points, hearts, killing enemies to get points. Just keep doing it all. That I don't know how to get the money in there, so that's another thing that. All right. I mean, I guess the benefit also of the fact that I played this game so much over the past couple of days, or fine, by so much I mean fully through twice, which maybe isn't that much, is that at that point it's like, fine, I know what's coming now. So that's usually what it is with Castlevania, understanding what the pattern is and then how to adjust yourself to it. So far I'm doing better than on Bloodlines, I'll say that for sure. Yeah, he died off screen, but it's like, that's the one good thing on the holy water. Just basically throw it downwards and it'll hit him. Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to hit him anyway. Unless I had the axe, but yeah. Yeah, well, I'd be almost out of the axe energy anyway. Just let me get through this room. Stop it! Oh. Ah, crap. I was like, yeah, I was trying to avoid the skulls there. Oh, well, right, the checkpoint's here. I forgot. Okay, that's the other thing. Like, fine, I know all this stuff, but then I'm so into one moment of something that I'm then forgetting, like, wait a minute, I don't have to worry too much. Just go through this area again, thank God. Come on. So much stuff to avoid. Oh, alright, the whip upgrade, awesome. Alright, come on. Yeah, just crouch down here, because I think you get hurt. Okay, I guess I got hurt touching him, but yeah, alright. One more flashing light, hopefully this is the last one for this level. Boom. Actually, the last one for the game, because, yeah, the next level's the last one. It's just, boss, attack. Well, fine, it's one boss, but it's, 3 boss fights at once. Alright, 1 up. Alright, so we have 7 lives. Maybe with 7 lives we can get through this, or I can get through this. We'll see. I'll do what I can. I mean, I did beat this game on normal, so I know sort of what I'm doing. It's about doing it. I mean, it's one thing to know what to do, it's also being able to pull it off. Oh shit, I shouldn't have gotten on the stairs. That's the other thing about the Castlevania games. Getting on the stairs is sometimes it can sometimes be a problem. You got enemies coming, but yeah, but so far I think I'm okay. Alright, so there is our upgrade. At least I can shoot the fireballs out of them. And, you know, let's go down this way. Oh. At least the ectoplasm came down to me to die. Alright, I think I have to wait under the pass. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, sometimes... Ow, shit. Yeah, sometimes with this... Yeah, understanding the jump arc of how... Well, fine, how all the Belmonts tend to run, but then understanding what that is so you can understand, like, can I make a platforming distance? In that case, I was able to, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I do want the cross. But wait until he comes back. Ow. Oh yeah, the bone hurt me a lot. I didn't realize it hurt me that bad. Like, yeah, just throw the axe. I don't care. Okay, fine. It didn't matter because that one got me. Okay. This is the last checkpoint, by the way. It's worth pointing that out before the boss. Oh, fine. Yeah, before the checkpoint at the boss, I should say. So as long as I can get through this, we should be okay. Alright, so just keep getting money and keep getting myself set. There we go. Oh, it's like, wait, oh right, that came by. I mean, it is fair when they come around, is that there's so many things going on, there's always going to be that one thing you just don't see, even though it is there. And the footage, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. For the purpose of the edit, I'll have to do this, of course, but going back on the footage, while he's just kind of stuck there, I'm going to be looking forward to just going back on the footage on this one, just to get a sense of what this is looking like. Alright. Oh yeah, avoid just getting hit by the bones, they're gonna hurt. Alright, so yeah, we're good. Alright, come on. Yeah, I just wanted to come down to me so I can get it out of the way. Alright, yeah, my clock, I think we should be good. I think it'll be fine. We're almost at the end. Just getting to the end. That's always the tough thing. Yeah, if I could just, you know, avoid what I had happen before, which is... Yeah, fuck it. Throw the cross. Throw the cross. As long as you get rid of that, those... I was gonna say they don't hurt you or won't hit you, but, it's totally a lie. Oh, the birds! Yeah, throw the X out. Or throw the... Fine, now I'm so nervous, I'm like, yeah, forgetting what weapon I'm running. Alright, just stand here, just wait. No timer except the timer down there, and the clock's over there, and... Yeah, this gate's fine, yeah, just stay in the middle. Let the bird get out of the way. And what is it? The eyeballs keep coming, so yeah, you gotta be careful of that. Okay, thank God we made it. Finally. But we're not done. We have a boss. I think I want the axe. Yeah, because you do have a choice on sub-weapon in certain cases. And if I do die, I'll come back here. And I have 6 lives. I think we'll be okay. Please let it be okay. Alright, this is death. Yeah, it is, as I mentioned, with all the bosses, they will take less damage to your sub-weapon than to the vampire killer. So if you can whip him, whip him. If you can't, though, yeah, be careful of that, because he does do that, and then it will come back. And it'll split. Ow. Yeah, honestly, I'll tell you, some of the best strategies I'll give on some of the bosses that when you're getting their health low, use the sub-weapon when you can, or that, yeah, because that also has a different pattern. He'll do that slice, and he'll have a little red flash. Right there, he'll slash across the screen, jump. Ow. I only have 1 hit left with, my sub-weapon. Ugh, crap. I think I'm gonna die here. Yeah, I'm dead. It will take me outside, so at least try it again. But I don't want to get a game over here, please. I don't want to get a game over here. Because otherwise we have to do that level all over again. But with full health, I think I should be okay. Alright. The other things I think I'll tell you I'll do is, and especially for the last couple bosses, just whip them until you get to a point where their health is low, and then just unload with all of your sub-weapon energy, just because of the fact that, hey, it'll be easier to hit them for certain things. Oh yeah, that scythe thing, that is not easy to avoid. Oh, I got him. I'll almost have him. Oh, shit. Yeah, okay, that's at least what happens when you get hit by that. Oh, fine. Alright, fine. He's down on health. Just throw the axe. I don't care. If I can keep hitting him. Come on. Yeah, I think I'll be able to get through this just because of the number of lives I have. Yeah, he throws that out. Come on. Ugh. Okay, so yeah, I'm not far off, but I have enough lives. I think with the number of lives I have, we'll be fine. Honestly, this is going to be the most nerve-wracking part right now until we get to the final boss. But even the final boss, like, fine, it's so short you don't have to go far. Sorry, let's take Death down. Yeah, let's live up to the Belmont name, just slash. Also, you can get rid of the sights there by whipping them. But I guess probably I should be doing that. So, like, yeah, they're coming by there, boomeranging. Ow. Ow. Alright, I didn't get good luck as far as that. Come on. I say, yeah, give me the red beam so I can hit you. Come on. Come on. Uh-oh. I think I hit those out of the sky. Oh, that was close. One more hit. One more hit. Got him. Thank God. Oh my God, thank God I got that. Oh man. And just in time too. Oh my God. Whew, we did it. That is stage 5, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Alright, it's feasibly all downhill from here. Because the next level is the last one. This is stage 6. Oh man. Wow. You get to hear a remix of Vampire Killer from Castlevania 1. It's terrific. There's also so many Castlevania games that have this, so yeah. Okay, it is just a boss here, by the way. Here's what you want to do here. You want the cross. I'm gonna tell you right now. We gotta beat Dracula. This is the final boss. You just get yourself ready with all of your weapon energy. Don't use any of it until you get to the last form. There are 3 forms of this. You have to fight it on 1 life bar. But if I get a game over, I just come back here at the beginning, so it's not a problem.
As ever, the ally of worthless humans.
Yeah, that is Patrick Setz as Dracula. I'll go into other stuff he's done when I die, because that's usually what's going to happen. You know, he does that hand like that. You have to jump very specifically in order to hit the 1 orb there, in order to basically hit that so you can make enough of a jump to get over without getting hurt. And you want to go through this with getting as little damage as possible. But good luck on that. And don't use your sub-weapon at all. Wait for the last form. There are 3 forms in this, unless you're playing on easy, in which case, there's only 2. In that case, you have to jump very specifically. Basically, wait till he does the hand and do the jump and do the whip. You have to do it at the same time to destroy the 1 orb and hit him. Yeah, if you don't, you're gonna get hit. Ow. Yeah, I might feasibly be in a bad case for the last form of this already because I'm taking too many hits. Ow. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Alright, that's first form done. This is the next form. It's bad. You can hit him twice. He'll then throw the fire out. He'll do this jump. He'll shoot out those, green bolts. After the 3rd one, he'll dive to the side of the screen. He'll do the fire. So, understand that pattern. As soon as you do, find an opening to hit him. Or if you really want to be safe, just wait until he comes down this time. Hit him once and get out of the way. And stay in the center of the room. Otherwise, he could trap you with the fire breath and you'll have nowhere to go. And avoid those, green beams, because otherwise they're going to hurt badly. They're not hard to avoid, though, even though they randomize the ones for the... Uh-oh. Alright, I was lucky. So was that, me going through. Alright, final form. That was actually the easiest form we just saw. Yeah, if you're on normal or higher, you have to fight this. I would have beaten the game if it was easy, but alright, here we go. This is it. Hit him in the chin to start. Keep hitting and pay attention to the orbs there. Yeah, they're there. Stand where the 1 isn't, because otherwise the electricity's gonna come. He's getting the frame rate going, and when they're on the bottom, there's fire there. It'll explode. Keep hitting them. And then here's the other thing. When he does that, he's weak to the eyes. Throw the cross at him. That's all that hurts him. And those orbs there, by the way. Hit them twice to bust them. You want to bust them, they will hurt badly if you don't. And he has a lot of other things he throws, including the eyeballs out with the diamonds, which they hit each other. They'll explode and hurt you. The fire hurts too, so be careful. Basically wait for him to put the hand up and then throw the cross. Make sure you throw it specifically so it's kind of in the center. And when he does that, stand on a diagonal there so you don't get hit by electricity. Yeah, this is the last part of this, and this is the part that took me 45 minutes to beat this last night. Ooh, yeah, it's beautiful to see this, but it's also something that, yeah, this is not easy, for sure. Yeah, okay, fine, I'm dead. So in that case, I have to do all 3 forms again. It's rough. Yeah, no question. Although, because it's the last level, this is all you have to do. It's just this battle. So you can keep doing that, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. By the way, to go back to who voiced Dracula, it was Patrick Setz, who voiced, actually, Kunzite in the Viz dub of Sailor Moon. We were talking about that when we played other stories. And he was Dracula in Castlevania Order of Ecclesia and Castlevania Judgment. So yeah. Oh shit, I got the knife. Actually, you know what? The axe is fine. If you don't get the cross, you can use the axe. And he was also Batman in the Batman Telltale game, as well as Scorpion in the modern Mortal Kombat games. And Ragnar Blood Edge in the BlazBlue titles. So yeah, you do have Patrick Setz. He does not do the demonic Megiddo like in Judgment and actually a lot of the Castlevania games. It's spectacular looking. Yeah, it is, and it goes to the art direction really of this. I guess sort of the throwback in a little bit to, actually with Rondo of Blood, the way Dracula runs in this one. A little bit. Where he does the thing with the hand and throwing out the orbs. Or the thing with Symphony of the Night, of course, which is, you know, die, monster. You don't belong in this world. It was not by my hand that I was brought forth. I was sent here by humans who wish to pay me tribute. Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves. Perhaps the same can be said of all religions. Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you! Yeah, I love my Symphony of the Night to the point where I'm willing to die for it. Yeah, we were gonna do Symphony of the Night. Don't worry, I love Symphony of the Night so much. We were absolutely gonna play that game. And the other Castlevania games we went into. But yeah, it is spectacular looking. Go back to that for it. Alright, fine, let's do this again. I'll actually be serious this time. Yeah, me quoting Symphony of the Night. And that was verbatim, that opening of that game. But it's wonderful. Alright, and for this, you do want to try and get as many of the hearts as you can, and since when you pick up a weapon, it goes away, you can either try to jump over the axe, or I can wait. Wait till it flashes and disappears, because of course that is game logic for you. And it's not like Run of Blood, by the way, where in that one you pick up a weapon, you drop the other one, so you still have time to pick it up. This one works on the old Castlevania logic of that not happening, although I think there is a situation where that does happen in this game, but I don't remember. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, fine, let's take him down. I'm trying not to get hit start. Yeah, they do give you the fully upgraded whip. You can't really use the fireball that much, but it's not really gonna make much of a difference. So yeah, wait till he's there, hit him, and he does the hand, do the jump over, and you jump towards him and then whip. Oh, I got a third hit on him. Ow. I mean, you can feasibly take one hit. Look, if you're good at dodging stuff, it feasibly doesn't matter, but it's like, yeah, I'll tell you, when I was doing the test on this, I wanted to make sure that I was going to be set for this, so I basically tried to go through each of these forms, taking as little damage as possible, because you're going to need as much of it as you can for the last form. Alright, that's not bad. Actually, this form is the easiest to take no damage on, except I'm not going to be able to show that, maybe. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, go away. Yeah, in this case, I'm just playing it safe. Just wait till he does that, because you at least have an opening for one hit. Sometimes you just squeeze in more, but it is a bit of a risk. And sometimes I want to take the risk. Yeah, that was me getting lucky avoiding that. Come on. Yeah, I did miss, because he does buck his head up a little before he does the fire breath after the third jump. Come on, come on, come on. You hear the great music here for that. Alright, there we go. So actually, we're in good shape for the final battle. So yeah, it is spectacular looking. And yeah, as I said, mention it's classic Castlevania style with some extra tech of the 32-bit stuff, but also of what the Wii is capable of. Yeah, alright. Yeah, get out of the way of the fire. Yeah, the thing you really need to be worried about is electricity. Yeah, and if it's too close, or it's too that way... Okay. Yeah, basically wait for the hand to go and throw the cross pretty much that way. That is the hit point. And yeah, make sure to get rid of those orbs. They hurt badly if they hit you. Or those big ones. Just don't make the eyeballs explode, because as long as you kill them, the diamond won't come out towards you. Alright, come on. I think they do flash also in the order that they come out. You just stay in corner here and wait. Ow. And avoid whatever he has there. And, oh crap. Yeah, go on diagonal. It does look great, for sure. It's like, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, Dracula's not screwing around now, their way. Come on. Oh, yeah, he does that. I forgot he does that, right. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die. Because he has not done the come up with that, or the hand coming up again. Oh, maybe I do have to keep hitting him, because I realized I was hitting him in the eye. You know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. This is my last life, it's fine. If I get a game over, it doesn't matter. We're just coming back here. Which is why I was saying, like, I'm just glad we're off of level 5. This is going to be the rest of finishing this game. We'll say that, and we got other stuff. Because I'm going to show off the digital manual for this, and I think I'll take a brief look on Rondo Blood, because I have it here. So we can at least show a preview to the game Lexverse is indicating, and it's a great game. He said that's the game that got him the franchise. It's a good one to get in the franchise with. Alright. Let's get him this time. I hope so.
As ever, the ally of worthless humans.
I don't think I'm going to get enough points to be able to get a life. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. It's fine. Also, it is random where he appears. Ow. If he just wait to extend his arm, and I realized that after almost an hour of practicing this battle. So, yeah. I did beat it, it just took me a while. I don't think it has to take that long. Alright, come on. Okay, that's Form 1, Form 2. And you do get 2 hits off him feasibly. As soon as that life bar appears, you can hit it twice. Oh yeah, get out of the way. I can do better at avoiding those green bolts. Yeah, because if I get hit by those, they hurt bad, so I want to avoid that. The pattern is random on the first 2 jumps, but they're usually ones as you're far enough away, you will not get hit by them, usually. And usually you kind of just avoid them just running underneath them for the 3rd jump. No! One more hit and he's done here. Yeah, fine. I'll just wait for him to get over here. Be safe. Alright, here we go. Actually, this will probably be easier because then I can just toss the axe right up. So actually, the axe might be better. Alright, let's get him. Final form, let's do this. Uh-oh. Yeah, right there, you saw that. I just barely had the distance there to hit him. You know, I gotta go that way. Yeah, in this case, just pretty much use everything you got. Don't let up. But also avoid stuff. So it's kind of a... You have to hit him, but you also have to avoid getting hit at the same time. It's that kind of battle. Whoa! Ow! Got him! Alright, he's dead. Got him. We beat it. In under 2.5 hours. Wow, okay, that is way better than I thought it was going to be, but there we go. We got Dracula. He is done. And you get the theme of Simon, because this is setting up where the next case of this time was going to go. The do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do from Super Castlevania 4, but there you go. That is it. So, and as usually the case, yeah, you defeat Dracula, His evil scheme was thwarted by the vampire hunter of Christopher Belmont. And we're back in Transylvania. That's where Dracula's castle is, usually to start. But yeah, the dust settled. A new legend in the history of the Belmonts came to pass, talked about generations, but it wouldn't be the last. Yeah, it wouldn't. Because there I am, but of course, following my lineage is going to be Christopher Belmont's great-grandson, who is Simon Belmont, which sets up Castlevania 1. And also, his son, whose name I don't know if I have the son written down here on my notes. Yeah, we had to save him in the sequel to this game, which is Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge for the Game Boy. And there's the original game that sucks, which is on the Game Boy. We'll show that off specifically, but basically what M2 and Konami did is they gutted that game, rethought it completely, took the good ideas it had, redesigned it, and made an absolute love letter to classic Castlevania fans, and it's a terrific game. Very cool. It is very cool, and as I said, it kills me, is that the melancholy of this entire play, specific above anything else, the fact that this was a downloadable game on the Wii, specific, and since the Wii store shut down in 2019, it's not available for modern release, but it's a terrific game. If you love Castlevania, even if you've never played Castlevania, this honestly, when I think about it, I think about the best games to get in for Castlevania. I would say Symphony of the Night. I would probably say the Game Boy Advance ones, which were Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, and Aria of Sorrow. But I also would say this one. I think if you want the classic element, and also Ronald Blood, we'll show a little bit of Ronald Blood, just as a little bit of a bonus for tonight's show. Those are, I think, some of the best ones to get into, and this one especially because it gives you a lot of options to make it easier for yourself. And then if you want that hard as nails challenge, even on normal, but even on easy, you're gonna have to work to make the game go. Yeah, this is a terrific game, and it looks, sounds, and plays really great. And yeah, Konami did a great job with this one. M2 did a great job on development. And hopefully we can get a re-release of this, so hopefully somebody's seeing this. Because I mentioned, we sometimes make a wish on the show to say that, can you see a re-release of something? I think I'm making it tonight. This is my case. It does look great. It definitely does. And actually, before we go on to the two other things I want to show, actually, I'll tell you where we'll end. We'll end with a little bit of Ronald Blood. But before I do, I want to show one other thing. Because I mentioned when we first played the game, the player style. I'll show the classic style just because, and then I will show the controller settings. I have my Wii remote that's been on the side because I have the Classic Controller Pro plugged into it, but I'm taking it out. I'm plugging in the nunchuck because that is how the Wii ran. The idea of the Wii remote and the nunchuck for certain things. There is a control method of the nunchuck. I am running nunchuck now because I want to run one thing, the swing. It does something we have not shown because they've not done much with the Wii so far. I at least want to show this off for purpose of this. You also play it with the Wii Remote alone, so you're playing NES element. We saw the story, let's skip that. But it does give you the perspective of all of the pictures of the older Castlevania games. So yeah, back at the beginning, but I will show one thing. It said swing on, what was that? So normally you move left and right with the nunchuck, or the analog stick on the nunchuck, hit the A button to jump, and B button to do the swing of the whip. But, I'll get the upgrade because I want to show this. If you shake the Wii Remote, it will swing the whip, and I'll let you hear this because there is sound that comes out of the Wii Remote, so have a listen. Oh yeah, with me hitting the mic with my hand, but... yeah, that comes out of the Wii Remote speaker, and it said more stuff as far as Wii, we can show that. There is a game, we're not going to be able to show on the Wii specific. It's one that Crochet Nerd 64 called Dibs on specific. It's, No More Heroes. I have it on the Wii. I bought it because of him on the Wii specific. He said, play it on the Wii, but he said, I have it on the Switch where it has elements of licensed content cut out as far as its music is concerned, which is why it would be hard to play the Wii game unless I know exactly how that operates, because like we'll just play the Switch version because it runs better, looks better, and it still has the motion control in that one, which is so great. But in that game, if you ever played No More Heroes, did you have phone calls you get? You basically have a cell phone call, you put the Wii Remote against your ear, and you listen to the phone call coming out of the speaker. I'll say, when we get to No More Heroes, one thing I'll probably do is him and I will do an off-screen appendage to when we play that, because I know one part of the game where that's not having licensed content, just so you can listen to that. Because it's pretty awesome the way they use the Wii Remote to have that coming out. I know some other games that do that. I know Rayman Raving Rabbids does that, where you have one minigame in that you have to basically go across a minefield, and you listen in the Wii Remote to get a sense of, like, where's the beating coming from. But yeah, Castlevania does it too. You swing that Wii Remote, you hear it swing the whip, you gotta... So it is cool stuff. And unique way of showing it. Also, yeah, one other thing I didn't show, I put the classic style controls on. So yeah, I jumped. I was moving left on the analog stick, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, because when you make a jump in classic Castlevania's fashion, in the really old ones, you don't have a way to control your jump in midair. So I guess I sort of made it easy for myself playing the normal mode of it. But yeah, if you want that method to play with that option on, the classic mode. And you also do get rumbled, by the way, when you get hit for that. Which actually, you know what, I'll let myself get hit so it rumbles on the mic. So it almost sounds like a cell phone buzzer, actually, or a cell phone vibration. You just keep doing that, boom, boom, and yeah, I'm gonna die feasibly enough. But, alright, that is the case of that. You can press start and go to the title screen. And as I said, I can't show the GameCube controller method because I have a Wii that doesn't have GameCube controller support, and the Wii remote alone. Alright. Two things we're gonna do. Hit the home button. Yeah, you have your Wii menu. I think I can show the operations guide this way, but I'm gonna try one other thing. As far as this, I did test this off screen, so I know this will work. And then, actually, one thing I'll do also is do that, plug the classic pad in, because I do need that for the last thing we're gonna look at. Well, actually, I don't necessarily need that for the last thing we'll look at. As I mentioned, the Wii Shop is off. So why am I going into it? Well, because the Wii Shop is not available for purchasing anymore, but the digital manuals for the games that came out for it, specifically the WiiWare stuff, is up here. The online is still active for that, and if you want to re-download stuff. So we're going to take a look at the Wii Shop briefly, and also let you hear the amazing Wii Shop music. Yeah, this is terrific music. It was also super bright on my end, but yeah, there you go. Right there, Wii Shop closes January 30th, 2019. Yeah, as previously announced, it closed then. You can't add Wii, or the ability to add Wii points was removed in 2018, so I went on a buying spree getting points to this so I could do that. So Wii points to spend, do so before then. The Wii Shop channel means the video on demand services, so if you had Hulu on this, you had YouTube, which actually I used to use the Wii for YouTube because it was free, for the system anyway. And then YouTube as well, plus other things, yeah, not usable. Thanks for supporting the Wii Shop channel, being great fans of Nintendo. See your friends of Nintendo. Yeah, I mean, it was a while, it was 13 years, but it was just under 10 for ReBirth. But I will show off one thing specific. So let's go shopping for games we can't buy. So yeah, you can go in Virtual Console, search by category, console they had, there's nothing there. But, and same with WiiWare, in fact, this was WiiWare, let me show you that. Yeah, it has stuff that I had, Wii channels, the Wii U transfer tool, so if you have a Wii U, you can use that to basically transfer your Wii data to the Wii U. I don't, specifically, because we mentioned the storage thing, as far as how it is, because I believe it does say in here, specifically how that operates. Yeah, and under more details. You could gift stuff to people if you want to. Yeah, you use that to transfer your Wii points if you had them, downloadable stuff. You need the SD or SDHC card over 512 megabytes, which is like versus saying is the internal storage of the Wii. Erased from the Wii, can't be brought back. Some software can't be moved, some software can't be moved, and you can only play it on the Wii. That's the reason I basically took it. Like, I have Wii U for that, like, keep them separated that way, only for it, but they give you the option for that. And also, I guess I'm glad for this, which is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I have it on the Wii specifically, and as the Crochet Nerd 64 will indicate, yeah, get it on the Switch. He's got a point because there was a bug in the game they had to fix. The Song of the Hero, if you click parts of it, after collecting Thunder Dragon's song, players introduce an area where the forest volcano events, acquiring parts, and don't trigger, so you have a dead game. So there's a bug in the software. They said, fine, we'll give you a way to fix it with this. Create to return the save data to normal playable state. Oh no, it corrupts your save. Okay, so never mind. If you don't play it, you don't need to use this channel, and if you buy the Switch version, they made the fix in it. So it's not like Final Fantasy 7 and 9, where the PC version's bugs were then brought over or reintroduced in the Switch and Xbox One editions. But yeah, I came in here specific because let's take a look at titles we've downloaded, or that I've downloaded. So at least give a sense of what did the Wii Shop look like when it loads in. Okay, here we go. So as I said, I bought the stuff in Virtual Console. If you missed the look of everything we're running digital on the Wii, I will have a link down below to our Sonic the Hedgehog 2 8-bit play, because we used the Wii Virtual Console version of that. But here's what it looked like. So when you went on this Wii store, there's stuff to buy, old stuff like ActRaiser, Alex Kidd and Shinobi World, Alien Soldier, the Amazon Instant Video, demo Bit Trip Flux. There is Castlevania Rondo Blood. We will take a look at that. In fact, let's take a look at it now, and then look at ReBirth. Yeah, released on TurboGrafx 16, not here. 10th entry in the Castlevania series, the struggle of the Belmont clans, and Dracula, of course. Rated as far and wide for its beautifully rendered world. Outstanding game balance and CD soundtrack. Take control of Richter Belmont, going through 9 stages. Use your legendary whip, pass them with the Belmonts, and use the item crash attacks to destroy and rescue Maria to be able to play. I will show that off briefly now, just as an extra, but I do want to show one thing specific. And they give you compatible controls. In fact, let me go back to Ronald Blood, show that. Because on the Wii, depending on the game you bought, specifically for Virtual Console, there's some things where you need the classic controller because there wasn't enough buttons. For the TurboGrafx 16, the NES, and the Sega Master System, and I think the Commodore 64, and I think maybe some of the arcade stuff, you only need the Wii Remote. Other stuff, you need the classic controller, at least, and you could have either classic controller or GameCube controller if your Wii supports it. But yeah, in this case, we'd run the classic controller, but when we actually come back to this game fully, I'm going to use the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. That has as well. But yeah, one thing I show on ReBirth, in fact, here's ReBirth. Which, yeah, every controller method of Wiimote Nunchuck, Classic Pad, GameCube Pad, Rated Teen for animated blood and fantasy violence. I re-download it, so if I deleted it off my system, say I could download it again. Take a look into more detail. Yeah, 100 years passed since the death of Count Dracula. Based on the Game Boy game, which they didn't re-release until after this came out, and after it got... I don't think... Actually, no, it might not have been after it got delisted. I'll indicate when Castlevania Anniversary Collection came out, if it was after the delisting of this or not. But yeah, this is the game that is no longer available. As I said, this is basically me on my hands and knees to Konami saying that you got a great game on your hands. It is worth the case of this. Look, we mentioned the thing as far as pirating games or the idea of, emulation that way. The idea is that what's that looking like? What's the legality of that? What's the risk of that? But also the thought of, I would pay money to Konami to get this game again if it means letting everybody out there in chat land, anybody out there who loves gaming or loves Castlevania, be able to play this because it is a treasure. And that's why I want to show it, and I'm glad I was able to. But yeah, we're here for the title operations card, or the title operations guide. You do need to be online for this, so I think for the purpose of recording this for history, I think we should be looking through, showing everything here. So yeah, it's like the digital manual. Remember manuals, kiddies? Yeah, this is digitally. Yeah, thank you for downloading the Castlevania ReBirth for WiiWare game. Also, question of seizure case. I mentioned there was flashing lights when we played it. For that, actually, to be honest, I've not actually looked through this whole thing. And we'll do that for Paracity for its final part. I gotta talk to a medics on that and figure when we're doing that. If we're doing that in when is it? In December. That's gonna be a question, but I'll get a sense. Yeah, make sure you're okay. As far as that, convulsions, loss of awareness, talk to a doctor. So I've always said I'm not a doctor on this show. I was like, fine, that's the case, but I will indicate the element that as far as the screen as possible. Okay, this is bullshit with all due respect. Play it on the smallest available TV screen. No, you want a bigger one enough to show it. Not that my TV's massive, but still something of being able to show off a game like this. Oh, this is a 4x3 display for the game we played, and actually this right here. So it doesn't really matter for this one. Don't play if you're tired and need sleep, or do so then you can go to sleep quicker. That's fine. Yeah, don't listen to Dr. D-Trag, because I'm not Dr. D-Trag. I'm Captain D-Trag. Specific. Play in a well-lit room, which I do have. I have all my lights on. No, sorry. Take a 10 to 15 minute break every hour. Well, okay, fair enough. Some people have to do that, so I'm not going to, lecture that. He's like, well, look, for the purpose of the show, I have to play it more than, I can't just stop every hour. Okay, I sort of stop, I guess, for, picking the water up, like now. But, hey, it's the idea of, being careful that predator motion, injuries, and eye strain. I guess also because of the fact that the Wii Remote for the swinging, like I said, you can play it without it if you so desire, because there's options for that. Being careful about the motion sickness for that. I guess for children as well, so it makes sense for that. But hey, let's look it over. Because you did see this in manuals all the time when they were around that way. Wear the wrist strap if you have that. Although, as I said, since I'm running the classic controller, it connects to the bottom of the Wii Remote, so the Wii Remote's just on the couch next to me. So at that point, yeah, I'm far enough away, do that. Although the reason I know they do this is because when the Wii first came out, because it's a remote control, basically, if you were doing the swings in Virtua, not in Virtua Tennis, Freudian slip, Wii Tennis, or Wii Sports Tennis, but I think Virtua Tennis was on the Wii, I believe. I think there's a version of it that was on the system, I think. If that's wrong, I'll put that down here saying no, it's not. But, yeah, they're putting holes in their HD TVs. Like, yeah, don't do that. So use the wrist strap. Yeah, actually, I think I still have my wrist strap in the box specific. I mean, I'm far enough distance away, and I mean, honestly, when I played stuff on the Wii, I'm swinging the damn thing specific. And usually I'm swinging it if I'm going to do it. I'm going to either do it right by the mic, as I mentioned I was doing, or kind of down in my lap a little bit. But yeah, you do have the security that way, and they do have that for the Switch now as well. Hold firmly. Oh, actually, yeah, they used the Wii Sports example. At least, okay, this is interesting. So, yeah, so this is the manual for Castlevania Adventure Rebirth, but they're saying, yeah, do this when you're doing Wii Sports specific. Fair enough, it was bundled with the console, I guess. Proper way to let go of the ball is release the B button and don't let go of the Wii remote itself. Yeah, perspiring, take a moment to dry your hands. Elements on using the wrist strap, because remember, the Wii was all about its motion, usually, but as I said, we've got stuff that doesn't. It's Castlevania Rebirth is in case you can play it without it. Where the Wii remote and the classic controller go, so yeah, what I was saying, like, connecting it in there, that's what it looked like. Make sure the wrist strap cords runs through the connector hook, because yeah, there's a connector at the bottom of any connector you put in the bottom of the Wii remote. Give yourself plenty of room. Sensor bar, because you do have to sensor bar your Wii or Wii U if you run anything for this. I do have mine atop of my Wii specific. Playing in front of the TV, because sometimes the motion stuff can be a little off, but yeah. Holding control in the Wii remote jacket. I called it something else specifically earlier in the play, but it does come with that. I don't use mine because it's hard to fit in and it smells funny, and there was a joke to be made there. And then using it horizontally. Also, it sometimes blocks the sensor, so that's the other thing. Because actually, I'll show you. I'm holding the Wii remote. The fact it's jiggling so much is because I'm kind of moving my hand. Put my finger over the front of it where the sensor is. It goes away. So it's like, yeah, there's a sensor. Where'd it go? Yeah, it just went away. So when you have the Wii remote jacket, or fine, the Wii condom, that's what people call it. When you have that on, it sometimes can be a case where it can be easier to block that for you. I mean, it technically doesn't block it because it does have a port at the end, or basically a path at the end that sees the sensor that goes out. But usually when you're holding it sideways like this, you're going to be blocking that sensor anyway. So sometimes it's not going to be running. And if you use the game controller, if you have a system that runs GameCube, neutral position reset feature. Actually, I don't know if I ever did this. The button sticks stop going A, B, plus and minus on the Wii remote. Actually, I never knew there was a way to recalibrate this. And GameCube I knew there was. Nintendo 64 I know there is, which is hold LR and start when you're not touching the control stick. That I know. Yeah, neutral positions are there. Yeah, so basically keep it steady. Same with the stick on the nunchuck on the classic pad and GameCube if you got that controller for running. Also, yeah, call Konami up. I guess, I don't know if these numbers are still set, but I don't know. Is this the way to say to Konami, we want Castlevania Rebirth back, and we'll pay you good money? I mean, hey, I bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection and both those Castlevania collections, and I'm buying Suikoden 1 2 remastered. So yeah, Konami's getting my money. They're seeing that and saying like, hey, Captain D-Trag, feasibly, and many other people are saying that, hey, they love the stuff we're doing, let's bring this stuff back. I'm like, yeah, all for that. Yeah, the easiest way to get what you want, feasibly, something like that, is show them where the money is. Purchase a personal, limited, non-exclusive, revocable license to use this. Use subject to the user agreement, for sure. Yeah, not designed with unauthorized devices or non-licensed accessories, which goes to what Electverse was saying that, you know, if you do, I guess, hack the system, I mean, everything has been archived on the system, so for, I guess, keeping posterity for it, that's a good thing, but then the question of, you know, what's that running, and then does it do something to your system? Yeah, such use might be illegal, voids warranties, which you probably won't have one now, because all the Wii's are used units. They may cause performance issues, which they could, for all I know, because I don't know how, you know, hacking the Wii runs, specifically. As I said, most of the systems I have don't really have hacks to them. I mean, the closest is the Sega Saturn, but that's a modded console, so I can run Japanese games on it, but I'm still buying the game that way to run it. Same with Nocturne, since she uses the Game Shark thing to run that way. But yeah, in that case, that's the idea. Not responsible for damage caused that way. Intellectual property laws, not furnishing the license of ownership. Hopefully they won't give me trouble, you know, showing this to people, but I mean, yeah, usually they don't. Although, actually, funny story, when I did the upload for the last part of Parasite Eve, when I did that, I actually got a content question on the music, which is weird because we had the music play of Yoko Shimomura's for 2 parts before. It was actually both the parts of the Chrysler Building, we had those pieces of music. It wasn't a content flag where it's saying, no, you can't have this up, but it's like, yeah, Yoko Shimomura is letting you use this. I'm like, okay, thank you. we love you, Yoko Shimomura, for your good music, but also the idea of saying, like, look, we're not stealing your stuff, we're telling people how awesome your stuff is. And the fair use idea. So, like, yeah, didn't affect it on the YouTube site, so it is up there. There are definitely some good edits we made as far as the purpose of that, but there we go. Yeah, stories go way back before Simon Belmont, as we mentioned. Driving built the castle in the suburbs of Transylvania. Now is the Demon King, and Christopher Belmont, who is the descendant of Trevor Belmont, is coming back to defeat him. Now, this is bringing me back, even though this is just a digital manual. So, yeah, remember, it's like, yeah, title screen appears, press the confirm button. Looking at the menu. Yeah, okay, so maybe this is redundant, so feel free, chat, to go into anything about instruction manuals or what you're thinking about what you're seeing. I'll tell you, I think I said I'll show this off, but I didn't necessarily expect that this is how I was going to operate. And the legend on screen, I always love the fact that manuals ran this. Yeah, Christopher is on the screen right there. He's number 1. 2 is my lives remaining. Hearts collected. Usable items in box there. Christopher's health, boss health, current score. Current stage, time remaining. Yeah, defeat the enemies, go to the stage. You get hit, your health decreases, you get nothing or fall in a pit, you die. If you have lives remaining, you go midway through the stage or in the areas where there's checkpoints, but if you get it, where you continue, depends on where you lost the life. Lose all your lives, it's game over, you can continue as much as you want, but if you quit, you're done. Continue starts you back at the beginning of the stage, as we saw with stage 5. Yeah, controls, and they do give you the controls for every method. As default, as I mentioned, they are completely customizable, so if you don't like... Well, fine. Wii Remote, you're not going to have much customizability anyway, because there's only a couple buttons on it. But Classic Control, if you want jump default on A, which I don't, I said I put on the B button and have attack on the Y button, you can do that. Nunchuck sort of the same way. Swing of the Wii Remote, if you want to do that for the Nunchuck Wii Remote way. And GameCube pad, you have one of those. Yeah, jumping and walking for diagonal jumping. And yeah, the sub-weapon. Consume by using the hearts you collect. You change the button elements, and then the rumble for the cube pad, or with... Actually, everything but the classic controller, because the classic controller does not have a rumble built into it. Yeah, so the knife, which throws the knife forward. The axe is a diagonal throw. Does damage, but slow. The cross, which can hit multiple things. The holy water, which hits the floor. And the pocket watch, which is a night hard usage and stops movement briefly of enemies. The crystal update the whip, upgrade the whip, the heart, the coin, basically points, and then the pot roasts. But I was thinking the pork chop, because that's how Castlevania NES does it. The magic tome, or the talisman, as I mentioned. And then the crystal when you beat the boss. Elements as far as options there, screen adjustments, credits to the people who made it, player lives, music, sound effect volume. Alright, there you go. And yeah, that was it. So, yeah, not too much as far as the instruction manual for the Castlevania Adventure Rebirth, but yeah, there you go. That's it, and you get to hear the nice Wii Shop music. Some of the best, you know, I'll tell you, I think of all the online stores of Nintendo's, this is probably the best music of it. And yeah, just going left and right. I used to do this all the time, going into the stores, like, what's here, what do I want to get, and then getting a sense of what's going on, including stuff like Ironclad, which goes a lot of money. Another one that's not gotten re-released. Ghoul Patrol, which has been re-released. Actually, you know what, fine, since we're coming back to this briefly, let's see what got re-released. Actually, yeah, like 2 weeks after we had that show, I said, ActRaiser, that's awesome. Square made the remake, so I was like, okay, there you go. Alien Soldiers on the Genesis Mini 2 that's out in a couple weeks. Ronald Blood is in the TurboGrafx Mini. ReBirth, yeah, this one, please, Konami, but, yeah, there's, I think, it's not going to be too difficult. Choniki, COD ReBirth. Excite Bike World Rally, we can show that off at some point. I do like my Excite Bike, and that version, maybe Nintendo can bring that back. A Final Fantasy Original, of which, okay, fine, when we played Sonic 2 last year to show this, they had not yet released Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, which is the 4th remake of Final Fantasy 1, turning into a Dark Souls-like game. Ghoul Patrol has been since released on there's a LucasArts Classic Games Collection that Disney put out on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC that has this and Zombies Ate My Neighbors on it. Glay Lancer, a couple weeks after I mentioned the fact that it's here, $7 on the Switch download store. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Growth with Ultraman, yeah, they never brought that back. I mean, Switch they could with the motion, but that's going to be the question. Ironclad has not come back, shockingly. That's another one that's a lot of money, so... Anything here, yeah, we can run that. Landstalker's gotten released a bunch of times since then. Wars of Thunder is on some stuff that I have. The TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Mario Tennis, which I have on N64, run out that way because there's transfer pack usage. Mega Turrican. Yeah, the Turrican games are back. They're collections that have it that are mainly expensive for how they have it set. And it's ain't downloadable because these are stored on the SD and it's not seeing it on my Wii drive. Also, the update for Netflix, it doesn't matter because it's turned off. Musha, which is on Switch Online expansion pack now. Yeah, this hasn't been released again since we mentioned, but there is Tactics Ogre that's getting remade next month, I believe. And Dolphin, as you mentioned, yeah, what's with the name of Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom? This has not come back, but it is in play as far as our show. This is one I wish they'd bring back. Pulse Man, the Game Freak developed game that Japan only got. This was the only release. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you do remember that. That it goes all these great memories he had with this show. All the great ones we still make. The new ones we have there. Secret of Mana, which you mentioned last week, because Medix absolutely loves that game, and it's a great one. Sonic 2, which we played last year for that. Mario Brothers 3 will play at some point. That's going to be Nocturne's Jurisdiction. Yeah, Mario 2 Japan. Yeah, it was a near one. Or Princess, yeah, there, yeah, I remember Princess Tomato. I mean, I think we should show Princess Tomato just because at some point. Not tonight, we'll show it at some point, just because it's so damn weird, but I'll have to practice it specifically. Mario 2 Japan, I'm going to use the Switch for that one when we get to that. I'm going to play that game off-screen 7 times, because if you beat the game 8 times completely, you get worlds A through D. So I want to show those off. So basically, I'll do it off-screen, so we'll have to play through it once when we do the show. We played Mario RPG last year, which I loved. Super Metroid, I know, like first said, he was getting back in that. We're going to do that probably as our first Metroid game at some point. I'll definitely figure out when we do that, because this game is amazing. Super Turrican, which is on one of those Turrican collections out now. The Where Do You Yourself Showcase, which I don't think's gotten another one. World of Goo, which you mentioned, Dolly Finn. That's been released on a bunch of things. I think it's on Steam. I believe it's on a couple of the modern consoles. So that's around. And then Ease Book 1 and 2, that's on the TurboGrafx 16 Mini that I have. And I think there's a version of that somewhere else. Yeah, that's what we got running that way. But as I said, this is Life versus indicating this. And we'll something for the case of that. As I mentioned earlier, I said, you know, let's do something else. So that take us to a nice 3 hours to get set. Let's take a brief look at Castlevania game we'll do. He loves this game, and he's right to. And yeah, this one, I guess the idea as far as Life versus... one other thing I guess I'll also indicate. Yeah, play log. Forgot about that. The Wii gives you the play log. May as well show this that way. Showing how long you played game. So you can basically go into that to see how much you put in time in. So 2 hours, 20 minutes on ReBirth. Oh, wow. Okay, so that was way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like 4. And then 20 minutes we spent in eShop and all that stuff. And the rest on the menu. And back to that. Yeah, I'll show this, yeah, is that when he sees this feasibly on the YouTube site that way, a little something extra for him to get, like, oh my god, get us ready for, we get to play this. Yeah, this is Devil's Curse I think it's Devil's Curse Dracula X Rondo of Blood for Japan. Yeah, you do see that weird CD-ROM thingy. Yeah, Age of Konami, yeah. We know it as Castlevania Rondo of Blood. It came out in 1993 for the PC Engine Super CD-ROM, which is the CD add-on for the, what is it? For the PC Engine, or as we know it, the TurboGrafx 16. We did get the CD add-on here, the TurboGrafx CD. We didn't get this game, so it was a Castlevania game that we were all sleeping on because it never released here, although there was a remade version, sort of this on the Super Nintendo. It's Dracula X, or Castlevania Dracula X. Not the same game, admittingly. And it's also something where it costs a lot of money, unless you get that Castlevania Advanced Collection, which is $20. $20 for that alone makes a lot. But yeah, we're taking a look at what Rondo of Blood is. It is Konami who made this. It is the next case of Castlevania after Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo. They do have fully voiced cutscenes going on. They're getting ready with the knights here with their ritual, and also the music. Oh my god, the music's so good. Yeah, the ritual, yeah, she's getting stabbed. And by doing that, Dracula is back. Well, fine, the remnants of Dracula are back, I believe. But it is all in Japanese, so that is one thing to indicate. And what might be a good reason to also look at the PSP edition or the PS4 edition. I'll probably just get Dracula X Chronicles on the PSP, because we need to do something with PSP for showing it off. I'll see if I can't get it digitally, if it can be cheaper. Because that'll also be the case with Gurman, because I realize Gurman's on PS3 as a downloadable. That I can put that on my PSP with great difficulty, but I'll do it. Because, yeah, it's worth doing that. And we got stuff with PSP we'll figure eventually. But, yeah, so begins Castlevania Dracula, or yeah, Castlevania Dracula X Rondo of Blood is what it tends to be known as. And yeah, we're gonna take a brief look at what this is. Press the run button. Yeah, this was running on the TurboGrafx 16 of the PC Engine as it was. System I kind of slept on, so actually this is kind of gonna be our look at the TurboGrafx 16, sort of. Also, I don't know if this is gonna be a nudity case, but they didn't ask me about stuff for that. Let's do an entry name here. Fine, they didn't ask me on Parasite Eve. Actually, yeah, Parasite Eve, I was thinking, like, is it gonna be the nudity question, even though there's nothing visible? Here, I don't think there's anything visible either. Actually, no, there's not. I've seen this on YouTube before. No issue. Let's play. Briefly. You also have your techniques. You can run those things as well, and your sound test. But first, turn up the music, because this is too damn quiet. Okay, that's too loud. So yeah, you didn't hear the intro, but there we go. That's better. It's like, well, okay, so that's the other thing. Switching games. I'll have to figure out when we do our Dreamcast Racing Showcase. I gotta understand what the sound volumes are and everything. Feel free, chat, to let me know if you can hear this, or if you can't, let me know and I'll change it. Or maybe I'll reset and just show the intro up again, but yeah. Dracula's minions are causing trouble in town and destroying the place. I can hear it. Awesome. Okay. But there is Richter Belmont. Is that we'll see him also in Symphony of the Night, but this is the first game he appeared in. And he does have his element of the vampire killer, the whip. You do get this nice anime cinematic stuff going on. It looks great, and it sounds terrific too. And yeah, there is his ultimate attack. We'll see that at the end of this game and at the beginning of Symphony of the Night, because Symphony of the Night is the sequel to this. But first, it was a dark and stormy night. And we are taking our horses out there. So yeah, here we go, taking the run. It does look great. Oh my god, yes it does. And yeah, this is Stage 0, our prologue. Yeah, this is it. This is also the TurboGrafx 16 look, because we have not touched that system enough. Actually, I don't think we've touched it at all until this. This will just be a brief little teaser for sure what this is. Yeah. He's causing trouble. Oh, right, I forgot the controls. I think I had to change what the controls are, which are, it's the A button on this to jump, and then the B button for the whip. Alright, but yeah, he's giving me the wavy thing. Whoa, shit! Yeah, he couldn't catch me, friend. There's yeah, we'll meet again. Alright, yeah, ride on, horsies, let's go. Oh my god, and we get, the music in this, which is so good! Oh my god, it's so fantastic. Yeah, like the other one, yeah, you're basically going around whipping, and you do have the knife there, although in this case, yeah, he has triple knife. So actually, the knife is pretty damn useful in this one. And there you go, you do have the drop of the knife there. It's like, yeah, if I say, like, oh, I didn't want the axe, toss it. It does look terrific. The way it's running color, the way it's doing its scaling. Because that's the thing with the TurboGrafx 16. It's released here by NEC. And actually, Konami has the remnants of this specific, so that TurboGrafx 16 Mini was released by them. So basically, they have ownership of that, and there's stuff on the Wii U that was running for TurboGrafx. Not this, unfortunately. Also tie back to Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest on NES. Because, yeah, we're in the same town. I'm stupidly jumping in the lake. Oh, let's get going. I mean, I'll always show a little bit of this. Oh, yeah. Careful. Just to show what this is, because it is going to idea this. And it said, this is like versus Case is saying that this is the game that, you know, got him into this franchise, and I get it. I absolutely get it. This game is fantastic. It's another one that's very Classicvania-like in the same way that ReBirth or Castlevania Adventure ReBirth is, and then Castlevania's 1, 2, 3, and 4 were. But just the way it enhances itself with its presentation, and also just, even like the artistry of it, the fact that, yeah, with a perfect Halloween game as far as Castlevania, but just the idea of the perfect fall games. Look at that. You got the embers of the fire there in the background. You have the leaves going on in the town there. The place has been just totally abandoned. You just keep going, and, yeah, it is terrific stuff. It definitely pays its elements to original Castlevania for sure, while also having its own wrinkles. As I mentioned, just like Castlevania Adventure ReBirth. So I think it makes sense they're taking a brief look at this as an addendum to that. It probably is worth doing that because this was the first one that gave you multiple paths like this. Well, we won't find one of them. Because I think Castlevania 3 Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse does this as well. Got the big boss as well. Yeah, because it was all about scaling sprites the way this thing operated. Because it's interesting, this was going against the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and that it was a 16-bit unit. That always was something that was a niche thing in the US, but I knew one of my uncles who had this. I knew, one of my uncles? Yeah, one of my uncles, I think, who had this. It was also something that a lot of people I know, St. Aspartame, he's a huge one on this unit. And their friends I met at MagFest, actually. They were saying, like, I grew up playing the TurboGrafx all the time, playing stuff like Devil's Crush and things like that. And I don't know if they probably grew up with this, because this was not here until... Actually, this was actually the first port of it that the US got. It was on the Wii's Virtual Console in 2007, which is, I think, either right at the time of or right before Dracula X Chronicles came on the PSP, which is a remake of this, by the way. And you're going to unlock the original version in it, but with voiced stuff. Yeah, this is the first boss. You do have your health bar, which is that red bar over there, and the enemy bar is the purple. And just like before, it does run on hearts for the purpose of your sub-weapon, which is up and the attack button. Just be careful what that is. Alright, got him. And it's just the nice melt away. It is great stuff. Actually, it is kind of like the Simpsons arcade game in terms of the sound like that. But you do have the orb still, so yeah, make sure to grab it. And there you go. That is, of course, what we heard in Adventure Rebirth. So yeah, it was in other games of the franchise for sure, including this one. That being said, one thing I'm going to do, I'll tell you where we're going to end. Yeah, hearing Vampire Killer. Yeah, this is this game's version of Vampire Killer. It is so good. No, those birds won't hurt me. Yeah, it is so great. Yeah, as I said, this is a preview to the one we'll do at some point. I mean, I'll see if we can do this one as the next one. I do want to practice this, though, because honestly, I've not played this game enough, and that's a wrong thing for me. I really should have. And so, and it's going to probably be multiple parts, I think, for this one, just because of how it is. And I do want to show that PSP version off to do a comparative contrast. I think it's worth doing that. And as I said, I also want to do Symphony of the Night. Fine, there's a lot of Castlevania games I want to do. And a lot of the chat gave me a suggestion for. And I'm definitely taking all those to heart and having a great time with doing this. And a great time showing you Castlevania Rebirth, for sure. And, yeah, as I said, it's a game that's good enough to be worth coming back to. Hopefully Konami will. I mean, they've been good with stuff. Here'll be another one for them to have my money for it. And hey, with the other Castlevania collections that were made by the people who made Adventure Rebirth, there you go. And Round of Blood right here, which is another great one as well. And one we'll definitely play a little later. So you know that great stuff of its CD music. I think it stopped. Oh, wait, it stopped, right, because, I already forgot it stops because this is a CD system. That was back in the days of Red Book Audio, where when the music stops, it reloads it. I forgot about that. Okay. Or kind of changes it up a little bit, but yeah, you know what, fine, let's get a better shot of that. Yeah, the crows are not going to be, you know, very appealing. Let's just go down the way, just see the great stormy effects. And that's the other thing, I think, with Castlevania. I mean, I'll go into this as far as... my final thoughts on Adventure Rebirth. It's a terrific game that definitely lives up to the lineage of great games like Rondo of Blood, which you're seeing right here, as far as a little bit of preview on. And it's one that, fine, I'm saying it's a broken record. I'd like to see it brought back. Fine, obvious, I get that. But one that definitely lives up to the legacy and does what a lot of these games do very well, and why people love this franchise. Creates this great atmosphere of, I guess, the horror milieus of everything it's doing, but just the atmosphere it's creating with just how it looks. I'm getting myself cut up and, yeah, there are the bloodlines indeed, cut through. But, you know what, fine, I'll try to get to the end of the street, or the end of the road, or the end of the path, I should say. Hearing that great remix of Vampire Killer, it's so good, oh my god. I just can't get over it. That's the other thing, I think, also, why people love Castlevania. It puts you in the mood for some spooky fun. It is insanely fun. It's hard stuff. You feel really accomplished when you get past it. The best games in the series, especially, of which Blood's definitely one of them. Adventure Rebirth's the best one that maybe you haven't played. If you did play it, I'm glad you got to play it, and I hope that you'll be able to get an easier way to play it in the future. You also do get the axe guys. Yeah, okay. I gotta be careful with the axe guys, because they fucking hurt. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not gonna be... I want to kill this dude first, and then we'll end the show. Because I think it just looks better, you know, going in the castle and seeing the drawbridge come down. But yeah, in terms of that, yeah, I do love the Castlevania stuff, and this is kind of, I think, showing exactly why, to the point where even the games they're not easy to get a hold of are legendary. Even the bad ones, like, we're saying how, Lifeverse and I specifically saying that the game that Castlevania Adventure Rebirth is a remake of is awful, but it's also the kind of thing that, I guess maybe the reason we're saying it's awful is because we like the idea of what Castlevania is doing so much, and the atmosphere it's creating, even as far as Game Boy standards of 1989. In fact, I'll say this. I remember when we played Super Mario Land, I said, when I first played Super Mario Land, I kind of had problems with it. I played it late. I'm getting just destroyed by the birds. No! Fine, I guess I'm gonna die then. But I remember when I played that, oh fine, that's a game over. Well, fair enough. You know, let's do that. And you do have saving as well. You do have a save option. You know what, fine, we'll just continue. I'll stay here. We'll just sit by the fire. But I think that's the other thing, is that we love Castlevania so much, is that feel of it, that even as far as Game Boy, it's a disappointment. I said, I didn't like Super Mario Land before, I mean, when I first played it, I said, like, this isn't not aged well. But then I went back and played Castlevania Adventure. I said, you know, I was wrong on that. Not just because I played Super Mario Land more and liked it, as we showed when we played it, but just because, like, hey, it's like, it could have been Castlevania Adventure, where it just feels stiff and not fun, and disappointing for the lineage of it, even for the time of 1989 Game Boy. 1989, if I said that wrong. But yeah, 20 years after that, they gave us a great remake. And a couple years after, actually, yeah, about 4 years, we got this. Yeah, it was 1989 for Castlevania The Adventure, which we'll show in one of those collections just to show that idea, but I don't think I'm going to necessarily show that too much. Or we'll do that with, what is it? With the sequel on Game Boy, which is Belmont's Revenge. It's a blast from the past. That it is, and it said it also is a perfect one as far as Halloween is concerned. And it will be interesting to show that just because of it. And I guess there's also one other Game Boy game we didn't get, actually, or that hasn't been put in a collection as well, which was Castlevania Legend, which was on the Game Boy in 1998. So that was actually a pretty late one. That's when people say they like less than Adventure. Like, I've never played it, so I don't know. So that would be another one to re-release. I guess hypothetical Castlevania, I don't know, Castlevania Gems collection, like the Sonic Gems collection of the DS games that get those ported. I guess Castlevania Legends, or Castlevania Legends, and Adventure Rebirth, amongst maybe some other ones. I was trying to think of what other ones there are, like giving a free advice to Konami for it, because yeah, this is a great game, and yeah, Konami's back in gaming, I think, and if they handled the other ways of Castlevania well, and they sure did, Castlevania, I think, is a pretty good place now as far as a franchise. Yeah, I think there's a good shot for that one. And also for this. As I said, for Rebirth, unless they re-release it, I mean, you can only play it by pirating your Wii, but legally you can't play it anywhere else unless you bought it. Ronald Blood, you can play on Wii Virtual Console if you bought it. It's not available there anymore as well. But it's also in the TurboGrafx 16 Mini if you have that, which actually costs a lot of money now, which I was surprised to find. Or the Castlevania Requiem Collection on the PS4, and Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles on the PSP. Yeah, your Castlevania fix is not too far away. Next time we come back to this franchise, I'll see if we're going to probably do this one. But as I said, we've got other stuff with Castlevania. And the sky's the limit for that and anything else that you want to see on the show. So I think with that, we're going to shut down for Super Old Game Saturday for this Friday edition. So Super Old Game Almost Saturday. Had a great time showing you Castlevania Rebirth and giving you a little taste of Round of Blood. You'll definitely come back to, so don't you worry about that. Alright, let's do schedule stuff. Next week is Saturday's show. The next 3 weeks are going to be the Crochet Nerd 64 back on the program. Next week, on Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be finishing The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Thank you, it was fun. I am glad you had a good time. I'm glad you enjoyed what you saw. Thank you so much, Dollyfin, for adding to the chat tonight with everything you had. Likeverse, thank you as well. Good to have your acquaintance tonight, and always a great time when both of you are here, or anybody else who's in chat. I appreciate that. Definitely make this show a great case for both of your involvements, and I thank you for that from the bottom of my heart every week, and that's never going to change. But yeah, as I said, next week we're coming back to Majora's Mask. We're going to finish the game. We only have a little bit left to go in terms of getting the rest of the heart pieces, taking care of the Anju and Cafe side quests, if we could get some emotional elements going on with this. or with that anyway. That'll be the end of that game. And then the week after that, we're going to be concluding our Halloween element of things. Great. I'm glad you're looking forward to that and the other stuff. But yeah, Halloween, 3 weeks of Halloween so far. But we have 2 more with Majora's Mask, which does fit because of the weird horror stuff, especially the final boss. Definitely go into that for sure when we play that next week. And then on the 29th, the Crochet Nerd 64 is going to be starting Shadow Hearts for the PlayStation 2, another one that is very good for its horror element. And he's going to start that as far as our next RPG. We do have Parasite Eve still going. That is still going to be going. I will figure out where that's going to go as far as the medics. If we can do that in December, I will figure that. I'll have an update soon enough, I think. Or in a couple weeks, I think, with that one. Because I know November is not going to be able to do it. But yeah, that's still going to be there. We will definitely go that. But this is also a good test, really. Because we'll have our RPGs going concurrently with Shadow Hearts and that. In fact, so concurrently that, you know what, we're saying 5 weeks for October for Halloween celebration. No, we're bleeding that over into November because actually on the 29th we're starting Shadow Hearts, but on November 5th we are continuing with the next part of Shadow Hearts. I asked the Crochet Nerd 64, I said, you know, do you want a week in between as far as the next part? He said, no, I can do another week. I can do another week as long as you're fine with, you know, having me 3 weeks in a row. So I said, absolutely. I said, especially with Shadow Hearts, because I don't have experience with Shadow Hearts at all. It's a game I've not played. It's a game that is available, but it's a lot of money. It's about $150. What he's shown me, I'm really impressed with what I've seen, and I can't wait to see all of what that game has. So yeah, Part 1 on the 29th of October, and Part 2 on November 5th. Then the week after that, we are going to be playing Streets of Rage 2 for the Sega Genesis. I actually started my practice on that game this week, because honestly, I don't have to do practice really on anything I've got coming up until Streets of Rage specifically. So I said, let me just get the Streets of Rage 2 practice out now to get a sense of how we're going to handle that one and how I'll be able to manage. We're going to use the Sega Genesis cartridge for that one specific. But if we run into a case where I get game over, as I mentioned, like we did with Streets of Rage 1, I have a backup, but I'll practice a little more as we get closer to the time, so hopefully that won't happen. And then on November 19th, we're going to have our 30th anniversary celebration of Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. Came out November 20th in Japan. By the time we start our 7 p.m. show here, we will be on November 20th in Japan specific, so it'll fit that. It is the legendary Capcom Disney game for Super Nintendo. I'd like first one to see that for the viewer request. By the way, when it comes to viewer requests, as far as October, technically Shadow Hearts is that request. Just to go on that, which is fair because he's been on the show. He was a viewer on Parasite Eve, and actually he was in the chat on the Sonic 2, on the Sonic 2 play we did. He said, like, oh, I watched this when we went out earlier before, but yeah, he was there the whole time. And then we get into Thanksgiving weekend. Actually, this is kind of I guess, where some of the practice is going to be going, and some of the unlocks and some of the stuff. We have the Dreamcast Racing Showcase that is going to be 2 days after Thanksgiving. We have 20 racing games running on the Dreamcast to go through. That was Dolly Finn's suggestion. Thank you for that suggestion as far as genre showcase. Got a bunch of racing games going to show. I'm going to have a great time doing every one of those, including the one at the end that's going to be something you're going to be questioning how that operates, but you'll see. Trust me, you will see. Looking forward to going into that and all the other ones that way. And then we get to December, where the schedule is mostly set. The first weekend of December is going to be Part 3 of Shadow Hearts. Yeah, we're going to have halfway through Shadow Hearts by the end of the year. And then the week after that is going to be a Nocturne returning on the program. She's going to be playing Mega Man X4 for the PlayStation. Well, actually, we're both going to be playing it because she's going to be playing through as Zero. I'm going to be playing through as X. She's going to be playing through Zero using the Japanese version of the game. She has that. We can switch between the Japanese version and then the American version, which I'm going to be playing as Mega Man X in that one for the purpose of it. So she'll show that off with the same cables. You can run it through the RetroTink 5X. We'll not have feed cut cases. We'll be all set. So she'll be taking the Zero part in Japanese because, yeah, we'll go into the English voice acting stuff with that. But in my case, I'll be doing the X thing of saying, time to get serious. Yeah, we'll do that on the second weekend of December. On the third weekend, that's going to be a question of if Emetics is going to be able to do that for the finale of Parasite Eve. If he is, it'll be then. If not, I'll pull something else out of the vault. We'll see what we can do for that. And then the last 2 shows of the year, I do want to go into this. They're going to be on Friday nights. Or they're going to be Friday shows again, specific for it, because it's close to the holidays. The Saturdays are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So I said, you know what? I still want to have show each week. So what we're going to do is December 23rd is going to be the viewer request for December. That is going to be Electverse's choice of Tetris Plus for the Sega Saturn. And then to close out the year, I was thinking, what do we do? We close out the year for December 30th. There's no other game I can think of doing that with probably the most, or one of, if not the most inspirational games I have ever played. Is a game that is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, so I'm going to be able to slip it right in right at the end of the year. And I'm looking forward to doing that, getting our music game case going on again. It's going to be Parappa the Rapper for the PlayStation. I do have it on the PlayStation. I'm running on the PS2, not the PS3, lest I run into time button problems, but I still probably will because that game is a bit sensitive with it. But I do love that game, and it is going to be a terrific one to end the year out. And starting next year is going to be with Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, another Konami joint for the first weekend. And actually, we do have some stuff going on as far as the first couple shows for January already set, including the next part of Shadow Hearts. And the full debut of Edwack and Nikki on the program. They were in for part 2 of Parasite Eve. But they're going to be fully on the show on a Friday show as well. That's going to be January 20th for Guitaru Man on the PlayStation 2, which I was doing my looks on today. I was talking with him today as far as I said, like, we're going to have to schedule this out far enough. He's like, I'm not used to scheduling stuff that far out. But I said, I know you said you want to be on the show. I was like, whatever you want to do, you want to do it. He loves that game. It's another music game case for it. It'll be Friday show again because of his scheduling, or his and Nikki's scheduling specific. I'll have that running. And for the viewer requests, I was thinking Final Fight 3 for the Super Nintendo, but I also, I don't know, maybe I can do Rondo Blood by then. That's kind of up in the air as far as what that's going to be. Or if we do need to have stuff for, if Medic says to do January for Parasite, it would be then. But that'll be coming. But yeah, that's some of the shows we got coming down the pike soon. I'm looking forward to doing them. Have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you, Dolly Finn. I extend that up to you, and the doggy picture there for sure. I'll have a picture of the doggy there when I do the edit, just because. But again, thank you so much for watching Super Old Game Saturday for its Friday edition. Thank you so much for everything you add to it. Hope you enjoyed the Castlevania love-in we had tonight, and the look at Castlevania ReBirth on the Wii in every aspect of it. All right, with that, I hope you have a great night, have a great weekend fully, and a great rest of the weekend as it is. Thank you for a great show. Thank you for making it a great show, Dolly Finn, and Electverse as well, for you too. That's what you always do. That's the thing. I can sit here on my couch saying, I'm playing a game, I'm going to have a discussion, I'm going to, do all these things, for sure. But, as I said, I like the idea that there's an activity coming on, and people are saying that, hey, they want to say certain things, want to go into certain things, or they just want to go into, because as I said, with this game, with Castlevania Adventure ReBirth, I get why people didn't play this, and why it's hard to play this now, but then sometimes stuff of observations, other talks on Castlevania or other games, I get it, and I really like you're adding that. As I said, it makes it unpredictable for me coming on, even when it comes to a game that I'm going to play for it, and I love that element of it. It was well played. Well, thank you so much. I said, fine, it may be well played as far as me, but hey, it was well played as far as the audience, and without that, yeah, we wouldn't really have much. I wouldn't have much, so I can't thank all of you enough for this. And I said, I'll keep doing this for everything you want and anything else that's of interest for me or you. So thank you so much, Dolly Finn. Thank you, Electverse. Thank you, everybody watching tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend fully, and a great week coming forward. I'll see you next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the finale of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Until then, keep being awesome as you always are. Have a great rest of your night. Yeah, it's not a horrible night to have a curse on this one. See you next week.